Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with her in her blue form, that's for sure.
No. No.
I mean,
Like I said,
yeah.
I like redheads.
More
So.
proud faps. Just say it. Yeah.
You got a lot of proud faps.
No, not a whole lot of proud
There's
ones.
a lot of awkwardness.
Proud faps.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah. No,
is it time?
it's time.
Is it time for the 4th of July celebration? The America's birthday celebration?
Insert hawk noise.
No.
No, I'll do some research. I'll get a real good hawk noise.
I hope you come up with hawk noise. Oh yeah. But welcome back to the show, everybody. We are the Geek Battalion vets. You know, we're a couple of vets. We got an army guy over here.
Hey.
We have a Marine. And we got a cop. I was just pointing it in a direction.
Oh, okay.
And we got a cop spitting his food. But yeah, we like to sit around and talk about, you know, geek stuff like comic books and movies and TV shows and, you know, Macho Man Randy Savage, apparently. So
Yeah, we like to pretend that we're somewhat informative at times. And you know,
oh, we do?
Yeah.
Shit.
you can
Yeah.
come to us for some news that we talk about.
That
Yeah.
you saw on the internet just like we did.
Yeah. And you saw the headline of and didn't read the actual article. Yeah, that's about as much as we
And then
got
we
into it,
wildly
too.
speculate about it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We came up with a better version.
Yeah.
Rumored or possibly confirmed.
Amen.
But I think we got to put it out there. What is today's episode called?
The official title is Uncle Sam's Boner Jams.
That's right. Uncle Sam's Boner Jam.
U.S.
Goddamn right.
You know,
BJ's.
a bunch of stuff that Uncle Sam would be into in the summer of 03. Well, that was Boner Jams 03. This is 23, so that was holy shit, I'm old.
Oh my God. That was
20 years ago.
That's scary.
He's like looking off into the distance now, like the existential crisis has just kicked on.
If this was a video format, we'd have to edit like a fucking
Oh yeah, the
memory
Vietnam,
reel of
yeah.
just like explosions and
Yeah.
Well, if
Hello,
this was
darkness,
a
my old friend.
video format, we would have one hell of a disclaimer because
your balls are about to hang
Your boy
out.
came prepared for this episode.
Oh,
Okay,
he is committed.
I am freedom the fuck out of this room right now. Okay,
He is. He is the embodiment of everything the rest of the world hates about America right
Yes.
Oh yeah, he's got the American flag do-rag. He's got the American flag sunglasses.
Blades, to be precise. They're blades.
Blades. He's got the American flag silkies on.
That's right.
Yeah. What else? What else?
I also have a Motley Crue 1984 World Tour jean jacket, cut off, of course.
of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you're wearing some fucking Hey Dudes or something. I don't know, but
Oh yeah. Sorry.
He's got
Sorry
a
about
belt
that.
of 7.62 ammo.
It's 5.56.
No, that's 7.62.
Bro, that's 5.56.
no,
It's plastic 5.56.
It's definitely 7.62.
As a heavy weapons
Not
expert.
7.62. It's 5.56.
Look at the size of the fucking round.
Yeah, and look
I can go get a 5.56 round.
It's
and
the
I can-
same dimension.
No.
It's
not
fucking
even.
plastic. It's neither. Okay.
Oh, okay. Now we're done pretending. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not.
We're done pretending. Okay.
If
And
I'm pretending, I can pretend whatever the
he
fuck
has
I
a
want.
Deadpool utility belt on.
Yes, I do. These pouches are coming in handy.
Yeah.
He's wearing a Marine
got
Corps
snacks.
shirt.
Yeah. I got.
Yeah. Most importantly, too, he's wearing a Geek Battalion sticker.
Because you know what? We have merch,
We do.
and on podcast days we wear merch. That's
Yeah.
the rule, right?
That's
I
the
think it
rule.
is. Yeah.
Yeah. Where's
Oh,
where's
Oh,
your
I've got merch on. You'll see it in the photo. I'm wearing it.
did we get
You'll see.
silkies and you didn't even tell me? Oh
No.
fuck!
Oh.
When did those
We have a
come out?
thong.
Oh, fuck, that's even better.
Even
Just,
better. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Does it come with the prosthetic, or do you have to
No.
You just have to put your own sock in there.
Yeah.
Or what? Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
No, you just wrap up the cucumber in foil and stick it in your pants. That's what you got to
Ow,
do.
that sounds painful.
Sounds a little rough.
Well, I mean, that leads us right into announcements then. Yeah.
That does, because
it seems seamless.
in honor of the 4th of July, in honor of Independence Day, we thought that we would do a new shirt design, mostly because I can't stop making them. But
You're welcome.
also, we thought we'd honor pop culture's greatest patriot, Captain America himself.
That's right. Yeah.
So we have a Captain America inspired design coming out. It's pretty cool. It's one of my favorites that I've made so far. So I will officially drop that on July 4th. So
Can't
be looking
wait.
out for that. And you'll be able to see a preview of that on our Instagram when it drops. That's at Geek BN Vets on Instagram and Twitter. That's at Geek Bravo November Vets on Instagram and Twitter. Probably be on our Facebook too, and everywhere else you can find us on social media. So look forward to that.
Yeah, we have a sale going on right now, I think, on our merch. I think it's like 30% off. You can get a tee for like $14.
Yeah, I think that's
sweet.
that's just through Threadless. They just, all their shit's on sale right now. So it's good stuff. It's pretty, like,
Time to stock up.
We've all got ours in the mail now, and I like it. It's good quality.
Yeah,
and
really good stuff.
Yeah, it's
it's
very
comfortable
comfortable.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fits well. The logos themselves on there are like nicely done. So
The pipes were a little too big, so I had to cut the sleeves. But
you got one of those sleeveless tanks or
Yeah.
I bought
short-
the youth size. So
the baby gap one.
the baby get
Because that would be a large on you,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
We do have some kids sizes in some of the designs.
Yeah,
I made
sweet.
some kids sizes for the like Spider-Verse and
hell
stuff
yes.
like that. So I'm gonna force my children to wear them.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then
You don't get food until you wear our
I'm
shit.
gonna give them like a note card that they have to carry around, so they have like a spiel if someone asks them about it.
What is
Also,
the-
I have never seen any of this stuff. My dad just said I had to tell you about
So
it.
like, my dad is on a podcast and it is about I don't read it.
One guy wears shorts with his balls hanging.
That's not gonna be on the note card.
No.
No. Maybe your note card for your kids.
That'd be my dad.
They
wears
know
shorts.
that.
Yeah, they do. They're so ashamed of me. It's, I didn't need to wear this all day, but I have been. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I've been really excited. So because America,
America, hell yeah.
Fuck yeah.
How could you not?
So let's kick this thing off. Let's do it. Let's
get into the
fire away with the sit rep, boys.
Sit rep. Here we go.
Pretty sure that was Lee Greenwood, proud to be an American.
Yep, you nailed it.
I thought it was American Pie.
Oh.
Yep, nope, none of the
Warm
above.
apple pie.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
It's actually D's nuts.
Very American.
Yeah, that's
I like it.
giving us giving the middle finger to the Brits.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck you, T.
Yeah. No, dude, so I saw a T-shirt today. George Washington crossing the Potomac, rebel scum.
Oh, I've seen that
I
one
do
before.
like that.
I love
Yeah.
that.
That's a fucking
Dude.
cool shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rad.
Duncan will have something better than that here shortly. Just
don't-
wait.
don't put
before
that
the
on me.
episode's over.
Oh god.
Yeah, but well, you can describe what it was like because you were there.
Yeah.
What was it like on that Christmas night?
Cold.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't like boats. But anyways,
That's weird being a Marine. Yeah.
I was gonna say in the Department of the Navy, but
it doesn't mean I have to like it.
yeah, that's fair.
But so this sit rep, this is where we talk about what we're into, what's going on in the world of us and all you other geeks out there, or vets or first responders or whatever the hell you are that you're listening to us for.
Sure.
But yeah. So who wants to go first?
I feel like I've gone first the last couple episodes.
Okay.
So you're gonna go first again? Oh,
I'll go first.
no. Duncan, go ahead.
I think the main thing, I know that we've talked about this a little bit off air. Secret Invasion episode 2.
Oh, yeah.
Another hour of sweet spy thriller goodness. So, really enjoyed this episode. There is, I think, some some big revelations for some characters, for the MCU as a whole, and for where the show is going. So I'll put this out there, I guess. Spoilers. We are going to talk about the whole episode and episode 1. So if you haven't caught up on Secret Invasion yet, you should. I guess from what I've heard, it's kind of underperforming in streaming numbers, which is unfortunate because it's pretty good so far. Samuel L. Jackson's great.
Yeah,
There's
I love
a
it.
fantastic moment between SLJ and Don Cheadle in this episode that is like, if you were to describe it to me, sounds pretty just boring, but like their chemistry and what it is and the tension, fantastic acting, fantastic.
I love the way that scene ends. Even when I'm out, I'm still in.
Yeah.
Because I'm Nick Fury. Or,
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So since we already like cut to the chase and got to that scene, Rhodey's a Skrull, right? Like,
Oh man.
he's gotta be.
So I feel like everybody has really been kind of suspecting Rhodey's a Skrull for a long time. But maybe they'll just pay it off.
I hope so.
I could see
I
it
don't
going
care
either way.
I don't care either way as long as they entertain
So here's
me.
here's the arguments I've heard against him being a Skrull. In Civil War, right? He gets severely injured. He breaks his back, and he doesn't revert to Skrull form. But maybe he was taken after that.
Yeah.
Then also, if he's a Skrull now, he was probably a Skrull when Tony Stark died.
Maybe. Yeah.
And that was a very big emotional beat for the character and very like near and dear to a lot of people. That whole like kind of the family friends of Tony Stark at his death and Endgame.
But I could also argue though that so far in the show they've taken over the personas of some pretty important people.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And I highly doubt that they did that when those people are already in those positions of power. Like maybe they're the next man up where it's a little easier access. So maybe that they saw this trajectory of where Rhodey was going, and then so it could have been post snap, maybe.
Sure, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know.
Fantastic episode though. I mean, it really gave a lot more backstory and context to what's going on. Like the first 15 minutes of the episode. So that helped me as a layman coming into this episode because I'm coming in blind. I really don't know what's going on. Because to be honest, I haven't gotten into the MCU except for Guardians of the Galaxy ever since the snap. You know, like we're past the snap. Once it's all been reverted and Stark
after
died.
Endgame.
Yeah. So thank you. I couldn't remember the name of the movie. So yeah, I like the intro here. But okay, so I have a question. They're on the train. Jackson and
Ben Mendelsohn.
Yeah.
Talos.
Talos. Yeah. So they're on the train. Is that actually Talos or is that a different Skrull?
I think it's Talos.
Playing off of Jackson, trying to get him all spun up because once he leaves the train car, he turns into a female.
Well, I think that was because he turned into a female when the authorities came by looking for Samuel Jackson.
Looking for him.
Okay.
And he because they would be looking for Ben Mendelsohn too,
right?
Because that's the form he used when they were at the Russian Square when the bombing went off in episode 1. So I think he just chose a female form to try and throw them off.
Well, yeah.
So.
Plus he could flirt with the Russian soldiers and kind of throw them off their game a little bit too. So,
but we do have an interesting revelation in that train car moment, and that there are like a million Skrulls on Earth.
Well, okay, so that threw me for a loop too, because Jackson, Fury and Talos, they have this relationship, and Fury just flips a script and just starts yelling and screaming at him like, "Hey, there's a million of you guys!" Okay, like to me that seems like a weird escalation, like going from a normal conversation. Yes, it's tell me something I don't know, but then he went into you crazy.
I don't think so.
I think that might be in part due to not having the context of some of the other movies.
Right.
So he in Captain Marvel, what he is led to believe, or the impression that we're all under through his kind of viewpoint, is that there is a small group of refugee Skrulls who are not bad guys. They are simply seeking asylum, trying to find a place to live because their planet was destroyed. And he allows them to seek refuge on Earth. And then we learn in this episode that he does so in hopes that they will kind of give him a quid pro quo, right? You assume these human forms, you work for S.H.I.E.L.D., you participate in this spy activity for me and at my direction. And in exchange, I will work to find you a home world. And then he finds out, okay, it isn't just this small group. It's millions and millions, or not millions and millions, but at least a million.
Well, he basically brought more in without, notifying him or at least, asking permission.
Right.
Which that might be a little much, but like at least telling him, hey, our forces are multiplying here. So,
which is interesting at this point because now we don't know where those scrolls are, whose side they're on, what their allegiances are. And we see in that scene with Gravik, where he meets with kind of the Skrull Council, that there are some very powerful people. I think the British Prime Minister
the commander of NATO.
Yes, so there are some
I can
very
snap
powerful,
and have 1 million troops at my back now.
Very powerful people or Skrulls in positions of great power.
And then some Fox News guy, apparently.
Yeah, Shooter McGavin.
Yeah, Shooter McGavin.
Yeah.
I totally had that in my notes and I forgot to... man. But since we kind of talked about it, the beginning scene where you meet Nick Fury introing to these new Skrulls that are arriving, the de-aging is phenomenal. Like it was good in Captain Marvel. Man, Disney's really up in their game.
And on the TV budget.
Yeah.
Like it's great.
Well, let's face it, I think a lot of that credit goes to the Mandalorian. They brought Luke back, and did it look great? No, but it was pretty damn good for a big leap like that.
I think Disney has been kind of paramount in pioneering that technology because it's just gotten...
They're perfected.
Because they did it in Ant-Man too with Michael Douglas in the first
really
Ant-Man, and it was good then, and then they did it in Endgame, and it just continued to improve. And we saw Luke, and we saw kind of the internet's criticism of the...
Yeah, and then they hired
a dude who did it better than them on YouTube and brought him into the fold. So they're moving it forward.
Definitely. And that brings me to my next point was that I think it wouldn't be a stretch to say that Samuel L. Jackson might be the first digital actor after death. Like I wouldn't surprise me if he said, I'm Nick Fury, and signed rights away to...
Yeah, I don't know.
I will continue as Nick Fury, but you can digitally mail it in for me. And I wouldn't be surprised if he's laying down all sorts of voice tracks so they get, his
well, I mean, they already have AI voice replication that is extremely sophisticated
but see,
with all the shit he's already been in, they could plug that in and have
it's easier to do, I think, with these bigger actors where they've been in a ton of stuff.
Yeah. I mean, he's been in countless movies.
Okay, so this is a great caveat. I don't want to ruin the conversation about Secret Invasion, but I have to bring up Black Mirror season 6 off of this. The first episode, Joan is Awful. It basically, first of all, it's Black Mirror season 6, amazing, love it, and I want to do a deep dive on it. But
I haven't seen it yet, so
real quick, the first episode, Joan is Awful. Basically, there's a parody Netflix site that they call Streamberry in the movie or in the episode, and users sign their rights away. And so then Streamberry ends up just recording them with their phones and other technological devices and create a series based off of their life. Well, the main character that we see at first, Joan, she sees this show and her character is being played by Selma Hayek, Well, the twist here is that Selma Hayek that's not actually Selma Hayek. That's a digital rendering of her, and she just signed her rights away. So it leads kind of into what you're saying about like how Samuel L. Jackson could do that. So the whole rest of the show is phenomenal. But we'll come back to Black Mirror later.
Yeah.
But yeah, awesome.
My final point on Secret Invasion and my biggest takeaway: Maria Hill's a Marine.
Is that?
Looks
I guess
like it.
maybe
Those were Marines that were carrying her casket, and then her mom's got a Marine Corps emblem.
Oh shit! I guess I missed that.
Collar.
So
oh yeah, I missed that too.
So
well, I mean, to be fair, I was watching it at work, so I probably missed that.
oh well, yeah.
Huh. Well,
I did not
interesting.
miss it. It's at the forefront.
So one of the other big things that I'll point out from this episode that I think feeds into kind of where this show is going and maybe the broader MCU of what they're trying to do is clearly the Skrulls are trying to develop super Skrulls.
Yes.
Which, for those unfamiliar, in the comic books, Skrulls can imitate anyone. They can take anyone's form. However, if they try and imitate, like, let's say they try and imitate Spider-Man, they don't have his powers. They can look exactly like him. They can change their clothing to look exactly him, talk like him, whatever, but they won't have his spider powers, right? Well, super Skrulls are Skrulls that not only can take your physical form, but they can also duplicate and replicate your physical abilities. So in Secret Invasion in the comic books, that becomes a huge deal because there are a number of Skrull impersonators who end up duplicating superheroes and being able to duplicate their superpowers. So we see that they are working on DNA grafting and stuff like that, and we see kind of 4 species that they're working with to include Groot, who is from Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, she pulls up the computer screen and
files.
Yeah, there's a bunch of different. Okay, so that I was wondering what that was.
Yeah, like, so they're and they say that they have it says on the screen he has a sample. They have a sample from Earth, which he has been on Earth in the Battle of Wakanda, and so somehow they collected a sample of his Flora Colossus DNA there. They have frost giants, one of which was transported to Earth in Thor: The Dark World. Mm-hmm. They have talk about the Extremis.
Saw that.
I don't know what to call it. Treatment.
Iron Man.
Yeah,
2?
but from 3. Iron Man 3, which is like the super soldier serum that Killian Aldrich comes up with, but it's not quite perfected and makes people burn up. And
makes Gwyneth Paltrow super, super hot.
Yeah, and makes people blow up and stuff like that. And then they have a Cull Obsidian sample, which is Thanos' henchman from the Black Order, the big...
And it's probably his hand
that got his
cut
hand.
off by Wong.
There's a little picture in there, which would be an Infinity War where Wong used a portal to zap him to like a snowy ice mountain,
Siberia
and then he tries to jump through and he closes the portal and cuts off his hand. So combining all those things, we almost have a classical Super Skrull power set from the comic books, because the first Super Skrull had the powers of the Fantastic Four.
Right.
So Reed Richards' ability to stretch, which would be kind of like Groot.
Yep.
And his ability to grow his limbs and stretch and things like that. The Human Torch, who is, a man on fire. He can shoot fire, manipulate fire, become fire, that sort of thing, fly, which would kind of be the Extremis side of things.
I never thought about
and
that.
then Cull Obsidian is, this big tank
like
of a character, kind of like the Thing, super strength, super durability. But then you don't really have an Invisible Woman parallel. Her abilities are turning invisible and force field generation.
Unless there's something about the Frost Giants that we don't know about.
Yeah, unless there's something about
that's how Loki does that shit.
Yeah, maybe he has some sort of... Because I guess, Loki is technically a frost giant. So maybe there's some predisposition to that magical ability there that he has that they can harvest. But it's definitely... I'm definitely interested to see what that means for the future and what Skrulls mean for the future, that for that matter, of the MCU.
No, I'm excited. And then I don't know what this note means. Just says that Fury slaps Skrull cheeks.
Yeah. So the very end, we find out that he was not lying in Captain America: Winter Soldier. He has a wife. Yeah. He goes to a little little cottage out in the middle of nowhere and meets his who appears to be his Skrull wife. He puts on a wedding ring at her behest, and they make out and embrace. And
does he know she's
that's
a Skrull?
So
the question.
that is the question. I think she's the same person who introduces him to Gravik.
I think you're
in the
probably
beginning of the
right.
episode. So I think it was more of a I don't know who's at the door. I'm going to transform into this human form, or maybe that's just the form in which they fell in love, because he in that episode he asks the Skrulls to
stay in their
to
form,
take their human forms and to help him, and so maybe that's when they fell in love, so that's how she feels most comfortable interacting with him or something. But I think he knows, and I think that's very interesting to
I
say
think he
the
knows
least
too, but it's just the way they set it up.
Yeah, definitely.
To put it in question, I like that.
I think he would have to know. I mean, he's Nick Fury.
Yeah.
He knows pretty much everything.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so I think
hard
he
to pull
knows.
one over
You're
on
gonna
him.
have to keep both eyes
I
open.
mean, especially if he's been on a super secret space station the past couple of years, he's going to have some kind of a tabs on his house.
Right.
Yeah.
I would agree.
So
good stuff. I'm excited for the next one.
yeah. That you got anything else?
No, that's pretty much it.
Okay. I guess I'll take over here. I don't know how to say this any other way than just getting it off my chest here, but this week it kind of sucked. I had to go to a funeral of a Marine brother that took his own life, and that just kind of. I'm all about having fun. I'm here to blow off steam and have fun with my friends. But big part of why we started doing this was the mental health aspect that veterans and first responders deal with, and I just need everybody that listens to know that there's people out here that want to help you, and there's people out here that need you to know that, and there's lots of different ways that you can go about doing that. At the very least of those, if listening to us sit around and talk shit for a little while gives you any kind of relief, then I hope we're doing that for you. But we are not going to heal all wounds, and if you need it, there are resources available to you. I guess first and foremost, I'd throw out there the 988.
Yeah, that's a good one.
If you're a veteran, you can press 1 when you call that number. The 988, if you're not familiar, it's a mental health emergency hotline. So it's like 911 for mental health. So if you're having thoughts, if things are getting too heavy, I mean, reach out, talk to them. I mean, you can reach out to us. We can, at the very least, point you in a direction of something that might help you. But I can't recommend veterans organizations enough. For me, it was the Marine Corps League. The people that I've met throughout my time in that organization are just a phenomenal people, and you know, the access to a whole world that I didn't even know existed. They brought to me. I found them at a time in my life when I didn't even know that I needed them. But the American Legion, there's literally dozens of organizations. We like to talk about Irreverent Warriors or Operation 22 Till Freedom. And again, all these organizations, all this information will be on our socials. So if you need it, please reach out. If you're thinking about doing something, I get it. I know how tough things can get. But you're not fighting alone. Like, reach out, talk to somebody. And hey, if it has to start out with you want to ask us a stupid question about some geek stuff, like if that's what makes you feel comfortable to ask a tougher question, by all means, please do that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like, we are in no way, shape, or form professionals about any of this. But what I will say is that we understand that the military and the for me, the law enforcement side of things, it all boils down to, the guys and gals next to you. It's about getting your left and your right through whatever they're going through. And if you know that you would do that for somebody out there who is struggling, I can guarantee you that there are people that want to do that for you. And we're definitely in that boat. Like, if you need to send us a message and you're at a loss for where you need to go, we will do our part to get you in touch with who we need or who we think it will help you the most. And but there's a lot to be said about finding your group and your people and trusting them. And we're blessed to be able to do what we do and to have this conversation, this outlet to help us and to blow off steam. And like B said, I hope we're doing that for some of you out there. If it's just one person, that's good enough. But do not hesitate to reach out to us or any of the other veterans organizations that B mentioned or that we have linked in our Instagram too. A lot of great organizations out there that want nothing more than to help you.
Yeah. One of my favorite that's helped out a lot of my friends is Military One Source. They have a lot of great resources, not just past, suicide, help and everything. If you're having those kind of thoughts, they will absolutely help you with that. But there's also free counseling that they will help give you. You can, some of their benefits, reach out to your family as well. So not just you. They have all sorts of courses that you can take to help better yourself. So militaryonesource.com, you can call them if you're in need, 1-800-342-9647. Along with, the Veterans Crisis Line. We mentioned that earlier, 988. If you don't want to talk, you can text. So you can text that at 838-255. So, if you don't want to really talk, you just want somebody to text with you, boom, hit that up. But as everybody's already said, we're here too. But the thing I want to implore anybody is reach out. There's a huge stigma that we have in the military and law enforcement is I can do it my own self. Fuck everybody else. I'm a big, strong person. The strongest people I know have reached out and, made that decision to talk. So don't think you have to shoulder it. You don't have to do it alone. Reach out, talk to somebody. That's all I'm saying.
Asking for help is not a weakness.
No.
Bottom line.
I do anything to carry the load. So I'll be there every time, but I never want to do that again. So like I said, if you need it, reach out, call us, do whatever you got to do. Just never fight alone. I'm sure that if you're going through something like that, the natural resource would be to go to a podcast episode called Uncle Sam's Boner Jams. But but again, this is an outlet for us, and we're here to have fun as well.
It's important, and it needs to be to be said. So
that's really like one of our main missions is veteran and law enforcement health in a way. A way to just help you turn your brain off and just let's talk about something different for a bit. Yeah,
exactly. So. Enough of that. But yeah, check our socials if you have any questions. If you need help, we'll put them up there. But I'm gonna slide right into some Deadpool 3 updates here. I don't know if this is a spoiler or not, because who knows what's happening with it. But
nobody knows what's happening.
Multiple reports are saying that Ben Affleck has been on set.
Oh yes, I saw
Deadpool
this.
3 numerous times. So my question is, and I think I talked to you about it, are we going to see like some kind of Daredevil gag? Or like you said that it would be cool if he did a Batman thing?
I would love to see.
Probably Batman, knowing knowing those
sure
guys.
DC is happy to just lend them Batman.
but my thing is, so there is I mean, they're not even shy about it. Our good buddy Tony that was here for our last episode, he used to read this all the time. There was a Marvel Max title called Squadron Supreme, and it's a straight ripoff of the Justice League. Like they are just like verbatim. And there's a character called Nighthawk who's clearly Batman.
Yeah.
I think it would be hilarious if he was Nighthawk.
So that would be funny. I think it would be funny if we saw a Charlie Cox Daredevil and Ben Affleck Daredevil kind of in the same room, like doing
Spider-Man meme.
Maybe doing the Spider-Man meme or doing.
Now I catch the Daredevil meme because he played Daredevil. I totally forgot that.
Yes.
Oh, because the movie was that bad.
Yeah, it's not great.
But Elektra. Oh God.
Yeah.
Oh
she's,
God.
Yeah. Who was that?
Jennifer Garner.
Jennifer Garner.
Yeah.
But I
you
think
look strong enough to pull the ears off of Jennifer Garner.
It is worth saying too in the comics that in the Marvel comics universe, like DC Comics exists. Like they know Batman as a character. They know Superman as a character, and vice versa. In DC Comics, like they've done the same thing where they kind of, there's comic books like Marvel Comics exist. So, I mean, maybe James Gunn could, like, I think he would be into that type of idea. So
maybe a crossover because of
just a very,
he is now the director of Superman. So
right, but like a very
He's also the
minor
Kevin Feige of DC,
very minor crossover to test the waters and see how people feel. My personal opinion is that's way too early for DC at this point, but I'm just saying it's not impossible.
I think best case scenario, it's Daredevil and or maybe just Ben Affleck.
Yeah.
Like it might be that self-aware.
Sure.
So
Ben Affleck playing himself.
Ben Affleck.
Sure.
Yeah.
Because there's been a lot of talk that Hugh Jackman is going to play Wolverine, but is also going to play like
Hugh Jackman,
the actor Hugh Jackman, because he's kind of going to be kind of like universe hopping. Yeah. So who knows?
The only request I will make to you, Kevin Feige and Ryan Reynolds, if it is Ben Affleck playing Ben Affleck, I hope he plays him the exact same way that he played himself in Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, where he's just like an absolute imbecile, and he's like, because they did that movie. They sneak on set when they're filming Good Will Hunting 2 hunting season.
Yeah.
And he's like, what are we gonna do, Will? Like, I want that. That's what I want. But yeah, so probably gonna be nothing. Who knows? Maybe he was just, bringing him coffee like Brad Pitt did in the second one.
I could
whatever.
see that also just being a completely random cameo.
Yeah. But my last thing here is this is some terrible research on my part. They're on the cover of some magazine that I don't remember which, but Zack Snyder's Rebel Moon.
Yes.
I'm still conflicted on Snyder because I mean he's got some things that I absolutely love, like 300, or I did enjoy Watchmen after some time. But I'm still
He did the Las Vegas one.
The zombie one, Army of the Dead.
No, not that one.
Yeah, he definitely did that one.
Well,
More description. We will help.
10,000 miles from Graceland.
Sin City. Did he do Sin City?
No,
as
he
well?
did not.
Okay, no, because it was anyway.
No.
Okay.
What he did? What's the other one? Sucker Punch.
Oh God, I love Sucker Punch.
That's a good one.
Fantastic. But for lack of a better term, because of what he did to the Justice League, it still kind of burns when I pee.
Yep.
From that, so I'm a little apprehensive, but at the same time, I had this thought the other night when I was prepping for this, like, what if the synopsis for this Rebel Moon movie is the exact same scenario for the start of The Force Awakens, and he just makes his own sequel trilogy for Star Wars.
So that's why he's making this.
I know.
Yeah, I brought this up a couple episodes ago about how he's making a Star Wars, and then they were like, "No, we don't want you to make a Star Wars." So he's like, "Fuck you, I'm going to make my own."
Yeah, I'm just going to call it something else.
That's my point. Is like, what if there's these force wielding samurais or like special power wielding samurais,
telekinetic
with
samurais,
laser swords, and a guy that is a space pirate that looks like Indiana Jones, and
This is like total parody ripoff.
Like I hope it's like blatantly obvious. Like her name is Gray or something like that instead of Ray. I hope there's a Flynn instead of a Finn. Like I hope it's that spot on. But then he actually makes something that I want to watch.
That seems more like if Seth MacFarlane couldn't do.
I feel like that's a total. I feel like that's a Snyder move. Like I feel like he would do that.
I don't know. I think he's too much of like an artiste to he thinks.
Maybe. I don't know.
I don't know.
It's hard to say that after some of the shit that he's put out.
Well, I don't disagree, but I still think in his mind and maybe a lot of people's minds, that it's a very artistic form of filmmaking. So
they haven't dropped it. They haven't even dropped a teaser trailer yet, have they?
Just some
still images and stuff, photos, I think. Yeah. But Jumon Hansu is in it. Yeah. I can't remember who the main character is, but there's some other recurring Zack Snyder characters or actors in there. But I'm excited. I can't help but not be excited. I am excited for it.
It'll be on Netflix, so I'll probably watch it. I'm definitely going to watch it. If I don't have to leave my house, then I'll watch it.
Definitely going to check it out.
I just don't want it to be like 3.5 hours long.
It's gonna be
the fucking Snyder cut.
Well, if they make it on Netflix, maybe they can chop it up into a
couple episodes.
Yeah,
they probably
something more digestible.
Because they talked about doing that with the Snyder cut, making it into a series.
Yeah,
and they definitely should have, because it was unbearable to sit through. Even though it was better than the Joss Whedon one. But that's all I got. Anybody else? Nothing?
Yeah, I got a couple of things. Big thing just came out yesterday. Indiana Jones 5.
Oh, that's right. Haven't seen it.
Yeah. Dial O Destiny. Main criticism, Nazis again. Really?
I like so
it when
evil.
He punches them. Because they make that great noise.
Yeah. It's just a tired enemy, but hey, it's Indiana Jones. Of course, he's going to go against Nazis. I will say, very pleasantly surprised. Really enjoyed it. There's obviously some very typical Indiana Jones. How do we say leeways taken with reality? Reality is just it's not even a thing.
How is it de-aging?
Okay, so it comes like right hook right in, de-aged, and it's done amazingly well. Really good. You can still tell that it's old Harrison because of his voice. It's a very raspy voice.
Yeah.
But overall, it's done very well.
Good.
Cool. I definitely want to see it.
Me too.
Gotta find a minute.
I saw a clip today of him and what's the his female co-star? I don't know her name.
Oh, Phoebe
Waller-Bridge.
That's the one. Yep.
So I saw them playing with all the toys for the new movie.
Oh, Jesus.
He was miserable. It's like he had like a what I would equate to like a Star Wars Black Series figure. That's like a 6-inch figure, and she's like, "Oh, can you take the hat off?" And he's like, "No, but the head comes off with it." Like he's just like, "I'm Indiana Jones." Like he's just so miserable playing with these toys.
I think that's been my favorite part of this being a thing now, is that he's just had to do all of this promo and like tour work, and he's just miserable the whole time. And he's like arguing with people about like somebody was telling him like he had a lot to do with bringing Indiana Jones as a character to life, and he's just like, I'm not an archaeologist.
I saw that.
This isn't me. Okay. A lot of people worked hard on this, and the interviewer's kind of like, well, I mean, but like you, and he's like, no, it's just a character. Yeah. But I think my favorite piece of like promotional thing for this, I just saw today, and it's like, how with a lot of big movies lately, they've been doing like a no spoilers post for it after it comes out. Well, they did one with Indiana Jones, and it's just Harrison Ford in a suit, and he's like clearly on some kind of set, and he just walks into camera, looks at the camera, and just goes, shh. And then kind of gives you like a I'm serious look, and then just walks away.
They missed an opportunity.
It's perfect.
They missed the opportunity there. Like he could have tossed a Nazi out the window and got no spoilers.
No, it's perfect. It's perfect as is because you could tell it's the absolute most they could get Harrison Ford to do. Like we have a lot of ideas. He's like, I'm just gonna go. Shh. That's it.
I'm tired. I want a nap.
Yeah.
A little bit of a rehash of the last episode. We talked about how he hates it when people ask him questions like, what would you do with the Dial of Destiny? Or what would Han Solo do on this? And I think over the years, I think he's just come to enjoy just absolutely pissing all over fanboys. Like
I think that's
fanboy tears might be what's keeping him alive at this point.
I did see him get teary-eyed in one interview. One interviewer basically said, like, on behalf of all the fans, like, thank you for these movies and for everything that, like a lot of us grew up with you. And he actually got teary-eyed and was like, no, thank you. And I love the opportunities that I've had and things like that. So it was a really weird, rare moment for Harrison Ford. But
yeah, he was just smoking weed in his carpentry shop.
Yeah, or crashing his plane.
Yeah, that too.
And then he walked on set and here he is.
Yeah.
But I would give it 7 out of 10. Definitely better than 4 for sure.
Than Mutt.
Yeah, they tie up Mutt that storyline.
They tie him up
really nicely.
I was like, they kick him out the plane too.
If I say anything, it's one of the biggest spoilers, and I don't want to do it.
Don't say anything.
Yeah, fair.
You said too much.
Harrison Ford shushed you, so
yeah, they did.
No ticket.
I would I would say it is up there, maybe even a little bit better than Temple.
What?
Holy shit. Okay.
Come on.
That's hard to believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so Temple never really hit hard for me. Like it always just kind of felt like at the bottom of the 3 Indiana Jones for me. So I enjoyed it and I thought it was a really fun Indiana Jones, and I think it's gonna, really pleasantly surprise a lot of folks.
Oh, okay.
So that's kind of what I thought about it. Looks like you got something else, Duncan. What you got?
So we also did get announced this week. We have an official casting for Clark Kent, Superman, and Lois Lane in James Gunn's new Superman Legacy movie. And it is a couple of, I'm sure they're not unknowns, but they're not big superstars either. So we have the Clark Kent casting is a guy named David Cornsweet, and Lois Lane is
Cornsweet?
Yeah, Cornsweet. Okay. And the Lois Lane is Rachel Brosnahan. I kind of looked at their IMDb, and there was. I'll let B crack one.
Oh, sorry. I have a sweaty corn here. I don't know if you noticed that.
I don't know what that means. Is that a dick joke or?
No, it's a bush.
But he's David Cornsweet has been in such hits as
Dude, Where's My Car? No, he wasn't in that.
Nothing I've ever heard of. So
I was waiting on bated breath for
following
nothing.
Chase, Michael and Clyde, Affairs of State, The Sunlit Night, Project Payday, Look Both Ways, Pearl, Twisters, which is it hasn't come out yet. And then he's been in television shows, Mo and Jerry Weather, One Bad Choice, Elementary, which I've actually seen. He was in an episode of House of Cards, The Politician, Hollywood, We Own This City, which I've heard is great, and a new series coming out called Lady in the Lake.
Not even in a Paul Abdul music video, huh?
No, I don't think he was. And then Rachel Brosnahan has been in stuff. She's been in definitely more movies, so I'm not going to read through this whole list either. But again, nothing that I have ever really heard of. Again, that doesn't mean that she's not popular, but in terms of TV, she's been in Orange is the New Black, Gossip Girl, The Blacklist, The Marvelous Ms. Maisel. She's the main role in that show, I guess, so that's a pretty popular show. I've just never actually seen it. So at this point, we've kind of talked about this. At this point with castings, I just don't really I try not to get too worked up about anything. I haven't really seen if it's been overly positive or overly negative yet on the internet, but
All I know is that he looks like Tom Welling and Henry Cavill had a baby.
Yeah, I saw that meme. I think he has a good look for Clark Kent Superman. It's more of a throwback kind of Superman style to kind of a Christopher Reeve-esque.
That's high praise in my opinion.
In terms of just he's not like the tank of a Superman that, and not to say that he can't add bulk or anything like that, but I just even think his face is very youthful and very very Christopher Reeve, early like Silver Age kind of Superman. So I think it could be good, and I think I don't have any problem with Rachel Brosnahan either. Like I said, I don't really know her, so I'm open to whatever, and I'm going to try and trust James Gunn. So we'll see.
Here we go. Let's see it. I guess as long as she's better than the Kate Bosworth, is that her name? Lois Lane, the
from
Superman Returns.
Yeah, that was
bad.
Less than desirable.
Yeah. Whatever. I'm over it.
Let's see. I got a couple more things here.
Do your thing.
Yeah. Black Mirror season 6. I kind of touched on earlier. Loved it. 8 out of 10. Absolutely amazing. Beyond the Sea with Aaron Paul and Josh Hartnett. Amazing. Such a great episode. If you guys don't watch anything else in Black Mirror but that episode, it'd be worth it.
Here's my question. So I tried to start watching it the other night.
Right.
I really couldn't get through the first episode. I struggled and gave
Black Mirror
up.
season 1?
Yeah.
Okay, it gets really
I gave
good.
up. My question is it like Twilight Zone where they're not interconnected? Like each episode is...
See, that's the theory, is that they're all connected because there's hints here and there throughout the series that
so I have to suffer through to get to season 6.
It's never confirmed, but it's also kind of confirmed. There's like nods and hints that yes, this is part of
it's rumored
this universe,
or possibly confirmed.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Right. I guess I didn't realize that they were interconnected like that, because I haven't watched like consecutive like full seasons. Like I've dipped in on certain episodes and stuff like that. So I guess that's interesting.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite series. If you watched Love, Death of the Robots, right?
I have not. No.
Oh,
nope.
Watch that too.
Okay.
Really great. I mean, if you like anything that's like very techy, but with twist, love it. Lock Henry, another great episode. And I already touched on Joan is Awful. Great stuff. Loved it. Okay, next up, Halo Season 4 dropped. They're doing Infection this season. Basically, Infection is just like zombies. Yeah, you go around and you fight until everybody is left alive. And
so how does this start? Did they like take a libo to Tijuana and
no,
loved a woman who wasn't clean and
yes. Yeah, no, apparently there's this AI that they put into one of the Spartans, and it ends up infecting the rest of the Spartans. Yeah.
Okay.
But it's just trash. It's absolutely terrible. 343 has actually announced that they've stopped making cutscenes, and they what they have said.
What's 343?
Oh, 343. It's the company that is currently making Halo,
Gotcha.
Halo Infinite.
Okay.
Yeah. They said, as we've refined our top priorities and shifted resources internally this year, meaning they've fired a lot of people, we had to make the decision to forego seasonal narrative cutscenes to make room for the team to continue focusing on highly requested features, meaning that they've made so many cutbacks they can't focus on anything else, and they're getting inundated with all the fucking problems that they still have going on. And Halo Infinite is just in such a dire state. I haven't played it in months because it's so terrible. I love Halo. Halo was my jam. It's the only game I ever played for a long time, and I really tried Halo Infinite. I played it for hours and hours earlier this year, but it is so bad. And 343 has just dropped the ball so much that they took this thing that was amazing and they've just shat all over it. It had so much potential, and they've just ruined it.
Nobody likes to be shat upon.
Yeah, so they're just in a huge downward spiral. They even so much so that Microsoft has said, "Hey, you guys are no longer fully in control of the direction of Halo."
Oh wow!
Yeah, Halo has been Microsoft's like gem. It's like their AAA game. This is what all of the Xboxes launched with ever since the first Xbox. And Halo has been their thing that's propelled them, and it is just not being cared for. So,
shat upon.
I know Microsoft is hurting right now. I saw something they recently admitted that they kind of lost the console wars with PlayStation.
Holy shit.
Yeah,
PlayStation got more.
So is like Nintendo
quality.
number 2 now?
I think the console wars just referred to the battle back and forth between Xbox and PlayStation, because Nintendo really never had a next gen console like Xbox or.
So a Switch isn't considered next gen?
No, I think Switch is more just handheld gaming and stuff.
Okay.
Like Switches are great, and I think they're hugely popular, but not for the same reasons that next gen consoles are. Like where you're looking for extremely high speed, high resolution, great graphics, like stuff like that they keep pushing the edge on for Xbox and PlayStation. You're getting a Switch because you like the style of gaming. You like, games like
Super Smash Brothers
or Animal Crossing or Mario or stuff like that don't necessarily need good graphics, right?
Yeah, they have good graphics, but it's not pushing
not in the same
envelope.
way. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then last but not least, dropping yesterday, kind of slyly, Witcher Season 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got nothing.
Yeah. So last season with Henry Cavill as the Witcher. I'm looking forward to it. I watched a little bit of the first episode, but I had to pause. But I mean, I feel bad for Cavill because he loved the Witcher universe. He read the books and he was really holding tight to it. And that was kind of his downfall, because that's what like kind of led to his exit. He said, "Hey, they're not taking care of the universe. They're not doing it, justice." And so then it kind of came out. The writers didn't like that. He was like trying to like really, hamstring them in like, "Oh no, this is how Geralt of Rivia actually was." This is how it happened in the books and the movies, So they kind of gave him his way out, and then, luckily he was able to. He's like, "Hey, I've accepted to be Superman." And the next one,
oh boy,
2 months later, they're like, "Hey, we're not going to cast you as Superman anymore." And he's like, "Okay, well, fuck." And then, right after that, Netflix has announced that, hey, Liam Hemsworth is going to be the next Geralt of Rivia. So now he's out of a fucking job on both fronts. So like, I feel bad for him, but I mean, he's also not hurting because he's got a lot of other stuff. He's doing a lot of streaming and everything else.
He might be the next Bond.
It gives him more time to get into his Warhammer 40,000. Awesome, get into it, man. But that is pretty much all that I got.
Feel like now's the time that flames shoot up behind us and like fireworks and like
As I said, this as I announced on social media, this episode will be it's titled Uncle Sam's Boner Games, but it's just 3 hours of fireworks noise. So we're just gonna cue that, and you guys have a good night.
So we're gonna take these Xanax wrapped in cheese and now let's get it, baby. I'm excited. Let's America, let's Uncle Sam's Boner Jams. Let's do it. So fall in.
Let's fall in, and then we'll get into it.
Yeah, I'm to blame for this one. I picked it. And Uncle Sam's Boner Jams it is. So these are, if Uncle Sam was gonna sit back with a 6-pack and watch some motivational or moto in our world, patriotic movies, this is the big 3 for Uncle Sam. So who wants to get this bad boy kick-started right here?
I think you should start.
You want me to start?
Yeah, you're chomping at the bit.
Macho Man.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh yeah.
All right. So to clarify, our bottom, the first one we're doing is our bottom of the 3.
Yes.
Okay.
The least most motivational,
but still the top of the three
Yes.
motivation.
Yes, but still, up there. So this was really difficult for me because I have so many.
There's so many. Oh, I sat down to do this. So
I came up with a list of like 25.
Yeah.
But I'm going to start it off. Number 3, I think Uncle Sam would sit back and enjoy some naval aviators in the OG Top Gun.
I almost picked Top Gun.
That's right, Ice. I am dangerous. Okay. Who doesn't want to watch some,
Slider.
sweaty Anthony
stink.
Edwards
Yeah.
playing volleyball and Top Gun. I watched the
takes your
shit
breath
out of
away,
that when
man.
I was a kid.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, some super.
What?
Super hot Kelly McGillis.
A couple years ago, I was at a training event with the Army, and we had a down night, and so I went outside, hooked up my projector, and we played Top Gun on the side of the building.
Oh, fuck
blasting the music, and I just remember as that sex scene came up, the post commandant came driving by. Yeah. And he's like, "What's going on here?" And it's like, it's
Kelly McGillis.
team building night, sir. And he's like, "All right, well, carry on."
Did he at least know what the movie was?
Oh yeah, no,
okay.
he's like, "Oh yeah.
Okay.
He's like, "Yeah. Well, carry on.
I mean,
enjoy Top Gun."
If he would have said anything else, he'd be like, "Oh, he's a Russian spy. Like, let's take him out."
Yeah. That's your cue. That's a great choice. Yeah.
But just my uncle, when that movie came out, he was an Air Force pilot, and I remember watching it with him and him pointing out all the flaws about how the MiG 27s in this movie were like T-38s, which are training jets,
Just real
painted
jet
black
nerd shit, huh?
and yeah, but it was I don't care. Like if you compare it to the new one, which I still think the old one's better. I know a lot of people don't feel that way, but people who don't recognize that that's a Star Wars ripoff, I don't know what to tell you, but it is. But obviously the flight stuff in the new one is much better. Like they didn't do near as much in the OG, but that movie, I still love that movie. It's always it pumps me up if I want to run around the blockchain USA. That's probably one
that's a good one.
That's gonna hit. So.
There's a YouTube channel called from this guy named Ward Carroll, who's actually used to be an F-14 Tomcat Rio, and he talks about all his time flying in a Tomcat. And gives really cool perspective, and he does deep dives on Top Gun.
I'll have to check that out.
And he's like, you know what, for what Top Gun was, it was actually pretty close to what what would happen. Then he went a deep dive on Maverick, then the new one too, and yeah. So I like watching his channel. So yeah, Ward Carroll, if you want to get into super technical F-14 Tomcat kind of stuff,
I might have to check that out.
Yeah.
I mean, everything about that movie, the soundtrack. I mean, Kenny Loggins, baby.
Yeah, one of the best, butt rock songs ever.
When Danger Zone comes on,
how can you not?
How do you not speed?
Yeah. Every time I do a gunnery event and the tower has a big voice, I play that song.
Negative Ghost Rider.
Yeah, it gets everybody pumped up.
Yeah. So there we go. That's my flames shooting out behind me, fireworks. That's my first pick. What? Who's next? Who wants to take on the OG Top Gun?
Go ahead, Jimmy.
All right. My bottom of my 3. I'm gonna come out swinging with Team America, World Police. I mean,
I don't know if that gets me pumped up to be an American, but I do love it. It's so funny,
dude. I mean,
just wrong in so many ways.
The thing that I love about it the most is just the opening theme song. America, fuck yeah, coming again to save the motherfucking day, yeah.
That is a classic.
People tuned in to listen to me sing that song.
I think that's exclusively why.
Yeah, perfect. I mean, you Trey Parker, Matt Stone.
Yes.
It came out in 2004. Perfect timing for that movie. Just everything. There's so many good jokes that I still tell today based off of it. I mean, super secret code.
Yep.
You know.
Most of which we can't even touch.
I still do that in the Army too. Like, okay, just give me the super secret code, and people still catch that. So it's, it's a movie that's timeless. Well, no, I can't really say it's timeless, but it's a movie that just. You put it on, especially in the military, everybody knows what it is, and they're going to stand around.
Yes.
We're going to sing that song, and we're just going to have a good old time, and people are going to quote it. It's just a solid movie. I'm getting a fucking hard on just talking about it, man.
About
baby.
wooden puppets. So weird.
Promise me you won't. I'll have sex with you right now if you promise me you won't die. I promise I will never die. You're like, oh my God.
Is it inappropriate to just say Matt Damon?
That's probably like the only thing that we could really get into detail from that movie.
I'm so lonely.
Freedom costs $1.05. I love that one. That's a great track.
9/11 times 1,000. 9,900 or 9,111. Oh my God. It's perfect.
There's
man.
so many things I want to say. I just can't.
Nope.
That's about like the farthest that we can go. All right, yeah. So that's my number 3.
That's a great one.
What you got, Duncan?
I have a slightly maybe different approach to this one. And maybe to all of these, but except for like one of them. But so again, not in the military. I'm a cop, so maybe this one will make more sense. But what's more, American than getting drugs and guns off the streets and fighting gangbangers? So End of Watch is my first. There's my third pick. So that opening scene in that movie where they're in the pursuit with the stolen car and Jake Gyllenhaal's doing the narration and just talk about fucking rock hard. Like, I am a consequence. I am the unpaid bill. So fucking incredible. If you fight me, I will fight back. If you shoot at me, I will shoot back.
I will put you in a jail with gray bars.
By law, I am unable to walk away. It's so fucking good. And then they get in the stolen car pursuit and wreck out and get in a gunfight, and it's fucking A-okay. Not to mention that it's also just a really well-made movie. And if you're thinking about being a cop, if you are a cop and you haven't seen it, if you're interested in any of that sort of shit, you got to see this movie because it gets the dynamics of like what it is to be in a car with another cop just so perfect, so fucking perfect that it's hard to believe that they're not cops. I mean, honestly, like it's like I know I'm looking at Jake Gyllenhaal and Michael Pena, but like they did the work. Like they did 5 months of ride-alongs.
Ride-along. That's
like
crazy.
3 or 4 days a week. He said they did upwards of like 50 or more ride-alongs with
in LA.
In
Holy
LA
shit.
from 4 a.m. to 5.
They didn't get in a shooting
from
or
like
something.
4 or from 4 p.m. to 5 a.m. most of the time. He said they did them. Like just going straight night shift and fucking killing it. It's so good.
I just want to point out Jake Gyllenhaal was a Marine in that movie.
He was.
He was a Marine.
Yeah,
so.
He was a Marine in that movie.
Do you think that's a like a weird like continuation of him from Jarhead?
Jarhead?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe it's the same character. He just changed his name and moved.
But I'm down with it. I love it.
But I mean, what Marine wouldn't go be a cop?
Yeah.
I can think of a couple.
Yeah, that doesn't track at all.
Kids cops.
Doesn't track at all.
So that's my choice. That like
Man,
every time
solid.
that movie gets me like revved up and ready to go.
The ending fucking wrecks
it hurts.
me though.
Yeah.
It hurts. If you haven't seen it, seriously check it out though.
Yeah. I'm probably going to watch that again this week. I've been wanting to talk about that movie for a long time because it's so good. So
yeah,
maybe
it's
I'll just
fantastic.
rewatch it.
So moving on to your number 2.
My number 2? I'll do number 2. This should be no surprise to any of you, as I wore it on my chest as we walked in. A little flick by none other than the Clint Eastwood Heartbreak Ridge, baby.
Oh, yeah.
Gunny Highway. Just so many fantastic one-liners in that movie. And one of the things that really is special to me in this is, so it allegedly takes place in Camp Lejeune. But if you've watched the movie, it clearly, no part of it is in North Carolina. So it's clearly in Southern California. But the bar that Gunny Highway, Clint Eastwood, lives in the movie is an actual bar, and it's about the size of this room. It was so tiny, but it was called Carl's Tavern. It was in Carlsbad, California. And when I was at Camp Pendleton, when I was stationed there, I went there all the time. I still have a handful of free drink tokens from there.
Nice.
But it is sadly, it was torn down in 2014 so they could expand the interstate there, which is bullshit. Ugh. But this place was just like an iconic Marine Corps unofficial museum, and just I love that movie. You were telling a story about you playing Top Gun, and the commandant of the base or whatever shows up while you're playing it, and right when the sex scene comes on. Well, there's a great moment in that movie where they're doing PT and they're marching to where they're gonna go run, and Gunny Highway, he's obviously the platoon commander, and he calls on one of his troops to sing a cadence, and I would love nothing more than to recite the cadence for you verbatim, but let's just say it was not PC at all, and there just happens to be, they don't ever say who her character was, but there is a Marine Corps officer standing there, and I don't think she was surprised by the comments that were made, but it was definitely like, oh shit, well, why did I let this guy sing the cadence? So, but Gunny Highway, legendary fictional Marine, that's my number 2. I would run through a brick wall for Gunny Highway. So,
yeah, correct me if I'm wrong, but that movie is the one where he's like trying to like get a ragtag platoon in the shape, right?
Yes, they're recon Marines.
Yeah, and they're all like a bunch of
previous sergeant retired on active duty. He's just a piece of shit, and let them do whatever they want.
That's right. Yeah.
Mario Van Peebles is one of the main characters, and he's one of the shitbag Marines that Gunny Highway whoops into shape. They also go to, I think it's Grenada. Is the conflict that they're involved in, but for Clint Eastwood not being a Marine, he did an excellent job of
embodying what a Marine would do,
and some of the crustiest, drunk, salty motherfuckers that he could have imitated. He knocked it out of the park. So
nice.
Absolutely love Heartbreak Ridge. If you haven't seen it, it's from the 80s, so it's a throwback, but it's fantastic. So, who's up next? Who wants to step to Gunny Highway?
I think we'll just keep it going in order, and Jimmy can go to his number 2.
My number 2. It's no shock. It's Independence Day.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Released 1996. The cast alone, amazing. You have Will Smith, Jeff Goldblum, Bill Pullman. Pullman. Sorry, that's the beer talking. Randy Quaid, Brent Spiner. I
love Randy Quaid in that movie.
Oh yeah.
Hey boys, I'm back. Yeah, I mean, there's so many good one-liners in it.
Are you going to do the speech? Are you going to give the speech?
I can't.
Come on.
And on this day, for Independence Day, Bill Pullman as president did a great job.
Robert Loggia as like, I don't know,
as
the commandant of the Marine Corps or whatever he was.
He was one of the generals.
Joint Chief of Staff or something.
Yeah. Just so amazing. I mean, just everything that went into that movie, all the press before, the promos and everything. Like, they really had, I was 11 when this came out, so they really had 11-year-old me believing that, hey,
the aliens blew up El Toro.
could have possibly, invaded, because they had like all these like secret tapes that went out, and there was all this like secret footage. So good. I mean, welcome to Earth. Boom. He punches him.
Classic.
When I was in boot camp, which would be about a year after this movie came out, I distinctly remember one of our drill instructors sitting down, giving us this class about the different Marine Corps divisions and the different air wings. And at the time, the Marine Corps had just shut down the air wing at El Toro base, Marine Corps base in California, and moved it to Miramar, which is where Fightertown, USA is, and Top Gun, which was a Navy base that shut down, and the Marines took it over, because we don't get brand new shit ever. So
sure, of course not. Yeah.
But as my drill instructor was explaining this to us, he asked the question, does anybody know why they closed El Toro?
Oh, Jesus.
Uh-oh.
And there was a long pause because nobody knew. And one kid raises his hand. And he's like, you know why? And he's like, well, because the aliens blew it up? And he was fucking dead serious. And at that point, I hadn't laughed in like 2 months, but I almost pissed myself. I was laughing so hard. And of course, the drill instructor's just like, what kind of fucking moron are you? That was a movie, you idiot. And I'm like, oh, well, I mean, no one else had a guess. So, but Will Smith was a true Marine and
married a stripper.
Harry Connick Jr. Not so much, but Will Smith, Vivica Fox.
Yeah.
Save the world, and
Marine saves the world, marries a stripper. That's like
every Marine's
dream right there.
Right? Yeah. You can't not talk about top 3 boner jam movies for the U.S. Not mention that.
It's a good one.
Yeah,
it's a good one.
It's great.
What you got,
Duncan?
My number 2 is one that I know we all enjoy very much, and one that I have seen many a time, and it is Captain America: Winter Soldier.
Oh, hell yes!
Oh, yeah.
So I picked Winter Soldier for a reason. Number 1, because it's the best of the 3 Cap movies, and has a bunch of great character moments in and of itself. Like we alluded to earlier, we've got fiction's greatest patriot. Captain America there, the super soldier himself. But not only that, we have some themes of kind of government overreach, and you should be,
because Uncle Sam's like, yeah, fuck those guys.
Well, but I feel that Uncle Sam wants the populace, wants the people to come together and serve, and
amen,
uplift the country.
Preach. Not
necessarily the government to be forcing how it thinks and feels on the people, right? And so we get that with SHIELD, and what they've been doing and how they've been infiltrated by Hydra, and it's really kind of a like government should be afraid of their people shouldn't be afraid of their governments type situation there. Which
taxes are theft.
Sure. Yep, absolutely. And you should be able to own a tank if you want one.
Hell yeah, brother. Hell yeah.
So,
dude, if I ever had enough money to have an Abrams parked out in my driveway, I absolutely fucking would.
You would destroy our neighborhood. It would be awful.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but I'd Fireball
But how
badass would that be?
How badass would it be for the football games if we actually shot a tank off every time they score? There you go.
Yeah.
So that's my pick.
That's great. That's great.
I absolutely love that movie. And if we're talking about like motivational movies, like the elevator scene,
God.
So many memes have come out of that.
Yes, and
Yeah.
just like Cap going on the run, like, and everything about
Scarlett
it.
Johansson.
Fuck yeah, America.
Uncle Sam would definitely want that.
Hot redheads,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
Shout out.
I love it. Like, you know, you're drilling something in the wall, and you're like, man, how hot this bit? And it's like, it's a picture of Scarlett Johansson. It's that hot.
The bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Excellent pick. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it.
All right, here we go.
We got
Drum roll.
Is it on me now?
Yeah.
Okay.
But do you have an honorable mention?
I
Honorable
have
mentions,
I have
yeah.
a few.
Okay,
Because
let's get those
I just,
out.
Yeah.
like I said, I could have made this list forever. I know it has absolutely nothing to do with America. And in fact, America didn't exist for several hundred years after this. But I feel like if Uncle Sam was kicking back in the lazy boy, cracking up a cold one here, I feel like he'd want to, you know, watch a movie with a bunch of naked Greek oiled up dudes. So I think 300 would be right up Uncle Sam's alley. He'd be like, "Fuck yeah!"
Okay.
So that's one of them.
Is Sparta.
Yeah,
Yeah. Iconic.
I think.
No,
Yeah,
good. That's good.
but I mean, there's so many that I could have named here. The reason I didn't pick like Full Metal Jacket or Jarhead is just because
I expected you to.
I figured you would.
So I kept them off my list. Like, I'm not going to do like I did last time and purposely try to steal your stuff.
But yeah, I thought you guys were coming at me again. So, but I wasn't worried. I knew neither of you would touch my number one.
Oh.
But the thing about like Jarhead and Full Metal Jacket, which I absolutely love those movies, both of them are like two separate movies. Like there's a beginning scene and then there's the rest of the movie. So
Right,
like
yeah.
Full Metal Jacket specifically, the first I don't know, half hour at least of
25
the movie
to 30 minutes, yeah.
it is him going through boot camp in Paris Island. And you have the great Gunnery Sergeant Hartman scenes with the one and only Arlie Ermy, R.I.P. And those are so fantastic. Some of the best Marine Corps stuff in cinema.
That's actually why I wanted to join the military, because of that, you know.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I mean, the one guy, you know, kills the drill instructor in himself, but that's
not that part.
That part's bad.
Yeah.
That's why they don't let us go anywhere with ammo.
Yeah.
But I mean, the rest of the movie, which I love all the Vietnam stuff, but it just hits way different, and it's a much different movie experience. And I would say the same about Jarhead, where they show the kind of the really ugly side of the Persian Gulf War, and but again, the boot camp stuff in there is phenomenal. Now, when Jake Gyllenhaal is the scribe, and the drill instructor is like, I thought my scribe should be able to write. And like, how the fuck did you end up here? And he's like, I got lost on my way to college. And the drill instructor just bashes his head into the wall. Like, oh, so great. But another one, like A Few Good Men.
Yeah.
Like Jack Nicholson as Colonel Nathan R. Jessup is one of the greatest fictional Marines there is, and his courtroom testimony
So
is
good.
so great. Man, I can recite that in my sleep.
Yeah, that scene is absolutely iconic.
Who are you to
You
question?
want me on that wall.
Yeah.
You need me on that wall.
All you did was weaken a nation.
Exactly.
Today. And like you said last week, he's not the bad guy.
No, he's not the bad guy. It's Tom Cruise.
Who are you to sleep under the blanket of peace and then question how I provide it?
Yeah. You know what? I will do it. We're not going to do it. So this is my honor, not even an honorable mention. Well, yes, I gave him an honorable mention here. But 300, Patriot, We Were Soldiers, Full Metal Jacket, like Black Hawk Down. All those are so
Really
good.
Really good.
Yep,
movies,
all solid choices
But-
there.
The number one movie that I think Uncle Sam puts on to get all of us to just run through a brick wall for him is inspired by true events of the 1980 Olympics.
Oh,
Lake Placid, New York. A little
Okay.
movie called Miracle.
That's
Oh,
right.
man.
With none other than the Kurt Russell as
I knew
Herb
you were,
Brooks.
I knew you were going to bring Kurt Russell into this.
God damn, the legs feed the wolves, man.
I love that quote. That shit.
The speech that he gives about the name on the front of the jersey is a hell of a lot more important than the name on the back. I will run through the brick wall right now. Let's do it.
Let's go.
If there's any movie that's going to get me to run around the block chanting USA, it's Miracle.
I can tell
Fantastic
you, friend
movie.
of the show, is going to be very happy with your pick.
With that. Yeah. So that's number one.
I posed this question to a lot of my friends, and they actually, that was a very common thread. Miracle.
Love that movie.
Yeah.
Every time I watch that movie, I want fireworks to go off as soon as I'm done. Just the dream on at the end when the credits are rolling and it shows how successful all these people are after the fact, and they beat the Russians in like the second round, they didn't even play them in the finals. Like, come on, they beat the unbeatable team. It's basically 300 on ice, right? Like, took this just undefeatable enemies and they kicked their ass.
And it's a true story.
That's on
top of it all is what makes it pretty incredible.
Yes, but I could go on and on. I'd be amiss if I didn't mention the Dirty Dozen. Lee Marvin, who's a Marine. He actually fought at Iwo Jima. And his platoon sergeant was none other than Captain Kangaroo. It's a true story. Look it up. But I love that the whole ragtag group that they mold into this special forces unit and all that stuff. But yeah, again, I could have made my list. There's 25 long, easy.
Oh yeah.
And we didn't even talk about like TV shows like Generation Kill, anything. But
right, yeah. I mean, that leads me into my honorable mention.
Do it.
Band of Brothers.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Yeah, it's just from beginning to end, so well done. Just the research that went into it. I mean, you have actual interviews from Dick Winters and Joe Toy. Well, not Joe Toy because he was dead. But
I could see his face. They call him gonorrhea.
Yeah.
God damn it! What's his name? I have to look it up.
Yeah,
Wait, have you not? You've seen Band of Brothers, right?
I have not.
Oh my God, it's on HBO Max. It's so good,
dude.
The Pacific is about Marines in World War II. I enjoyed it. It doesn't have the same connection to Band of Brothers. Like, Band of Brothers is about the Band of Brothers. It's about your left and your right. Whereas the Pacific, they kind of focus on some individuals. Mm-hmm. And I think that's the big thing. The big difference between the two is you don't have that connection between, like, Band of Brothers. You feel like you're a member of that company. You feel like you're an easy company. Yeah. And because it goes from beginning
from getting yelled at by Captain Sobel, played by none other than David Schwimmer.
Ross from Friends.
Ross from Friends,
hard ass.
And he does a great job.
Hard sell for me,
but he's a dick, and that's the point. He's supposed to be unlikable, and he is.
Yeah, and, from that going all the way through D-Day, through the Battle of the Bulge, up through taking of the Eagle's Nest. 501st Easy Company leading the way, or
Easy Company, 101st.
101st. No.
Yeah. You're thinking of Star Wars.
I was going to say, I was like, isn't that the...
No, but the cast is so good.
It was Will Gardner, by the way.
Garnier. Yeah, gonorrhea. That's what I said.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Yeah, you were spot on.
That's actually what they call him in the show is gonorrhea.
It's a great series. Tom Hanks directed it.
Yeah. Spielberg was in on it too.
Yeah, just everything that went into that movie was great, man. Or that series. So good, really good honorable mention. My wife has an honorable mention of Stripes.
Fuck yes. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if that motivates you to want to join the military, but I love that movie.
Yeah, like as soon as I said Uncle Sam Boner Jams, that was like the first thing out of her mouth was Stripes.
Yeah. Well, I mean the EM50. That's definitely in Uncle Sam's Boner Jams. He'd be running in the EM50 and It's a weaponized Winnebago. Like, who doesn't want that? I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Sounds pretty rad to me.
Yeah.
But my number one, Rocky IV.
Yeah.
Released
really,
1985.
I debated.
I had a hard time not putting that in the top 3, but I knew Miracle was number 1, and I couldn't have 2 sports movies in there.
That's true. Yeah. No. I mean,
Was that one of the rules?
Is my own rule
okay.
that I set for myself. So.
Yeah. I mean, even if we had rules, you would have said fuck that.
Yeah,
and made
you
your
wouldn't have
own.
followed on
Yeah.
that.
You don't know me. Oh, I guess apparently you do.
Yeah. You got Stallone, Dolph Lundgren, Carl Weathers, and communism in there.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Guest starring
communism. Yeah.
And steroids.
Yeah. So, you know, that's interesting. Both of our number one movies are down with communism. So, yeah.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
I think that's kind of an American theme, maybe.
yeah, it is.
Right. Yeah.
What's more American than screw the Rooskies?
Yeah.
Just
John.
beating the shit
Yeah.
out of them. Yeah. I mean, Rocky IV just goes through all sorts of like ups and downs. You know, it starts off Carl Weathers. You know, he fights Dolph Lundgren, gets killed.
Yeah, and I loved the character of Apollo Creed, of him just showboating and like
he's
James
thinking
Brown
it's
sings
just
him
like
out,
a
and
it's just like a promotional
loved it.
fight, and he's like it's just gonna go fun, you know. But then
because
Dolph
that
Lundgren
is
just,
so American though. Like that's so like
living in America.
Yeah, it's just so arrogant and
Right.
That
it's
is,
great.
yes, it is very
he comes
much
out on a fucking Statue of Liberty float.
Yeah, and James Brown's singing him out there, and he's floating
good.
around.
He's got the Uncle Sam hat on.
Yep,
He's
yeah.
got
the trunks and, the
pointing at him.
jacket.
Yeah, and he's like, "Oh, you're going down," like just showboating. Yeah, everything.
So great.
Yeah, and then Rocky. He just goes through this like existential crisis. What even am I? What is everything? Adrian, she's doing her typical, I don't want you to fight, but I want this lifestyle.
America.
So I need you to fight because I need my rich stuff.
I need my brother-in-law to have sex with this robot. And
right. One of the greatest like cut scenes. He's driving around in his Ferrari, and it's got Journey blaring. Yes. Yeah, and then he's
gave us Eye of the Tiger too. Like,
that was like number Rocky 2.
Pretty sure it's on the Rocky 4 soundtrack.
Well, I mean, it's
Eye of
probably
the
already
Tiger.
it probably is on there, but
Okay.
I think it came out on Rocky 2.
I don't know, but it's great. I don't care.
Yeah, regardless.
very, very iconic, very American.
Yeah, then he's running up on the mountains in Russia, and running away from the KGB.
Just doing CrossFit, basically.
Yeah, before it was a fucking thing.
Yeah, grows a massively awesome beard and is just like, then beats communism. The end,
and gets all the communists to root for him before the fight's over.
Right? Yeah,
That's also
he's
super
in the heart
American.
of Russia fighting their top fighter.
Yeah,
and they start chanting Rocky.
And then the next thing you know, Bridget Nielsen marries Flavor Flav, and she's fully converted. So it's a train wreck. Neither one of you have any idea what I'm talking about.
I know who Flavor Flav is.
Shit.
Yeah, different
Flavor
movie.
of Love? No? Nothing? Okay. Wow.
Wasn't that his reality TV show?
Yeah, he went on that Celebrity Rehab or whatever it was with Bridget Nielsen, and they ended up hooking up.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Nothing? Oh man.
No, that might have been in a time where I was like,
it's a jump.
no, not.
I hate reality TV. I just want to make that clear.
Yeah, so that's my number one, Rocky IV.
Yeah, I mean, you can't. It's hard to argue that.
I like it. It's a solid choice. I got a couple of my honorable mentions, and then I have a dishonorable mention.
Oh
yeah,
interesting.
So
That's a new take.
Honorable mentions: Lone Survivor, Hacksaw Ridge. Have you guys ever seen Hacksaw Ridge?
Still haven't
With
seen it.
Andrew
I
Garfield?
started watching it. It's about an army medic that doesn't believe in. He's a conscientious
PFC Desmond
objector.
Doss, and he's a pacifist, which on its face sounds like maybe it wouldn't be, on the Boner Jam side of things, but
yeah, it sounds anti-boner.
But and as we've discussed, maybe religion isn't my biggest thing, and he's a very religious dude. But first of all, another true story. the shit that he gets done, the lives that he saves, the American lives, the people he puts before himself. And
they're not Hollywoodized. They're not exaggerated. Like,
no,
it's fucking crazy the things he did.
The amount of fucking people he saved with just sheer will, a fucking huge set of balls, and no guns, no weapons, just what he had is unbelievable. And the situations that he was in to do it, where there's, the enemy is on top of them looking for wounded to kill.
Because that was in the Pacific Theater, correct?
Yes. Yeah. And he's fucking, strapping, he's making makeshift harnesses out of rope and using his body and leverage to lower him down cliff sides to the medics, and people and everybody, the whole movie has just discounted this guy for not wanting to use violence. And hey, I'm all for violence, don't get me wrong, but what he
sometimes it is the answer.
It is definitely the answer sometimes, but what he does is just incredible. And Andrew Garfield, I love him. He's fantastic in that. And then there's some great other characters in his unit that are very entertaining. And there's a fun introduction scene with like Vince Vaughn and the rest of his unit, and where he gives them all nicknames and shit like that. So it's a good movie. Lone Survivor, like I said, we get, the tale of Michael Murphy's death and everything that happened in that whole situation. That's a very popular one.
I shall honor Lieutenant Mike Murphy on Tuesday, so I'm gonna try.
You're gonna try Murph? I did Murph on Memorial Day.
It's been a couple years since I've had a chance.
I have never tried a Murph. And
all right, come over, let's do it.
I do not want to.
I think you got to get it in once in life.
Yeah, you do.
I am in no shape to even attempt.
Duncan and I used to have this crazy month of it was like 10 weeks or something like that.
Yeah, like starting with Memorial Day, we would do Murph every week until we basically couldn't do it anymore.
Yeah, until one of us died.
Yeah,
so it's what's tendonitis was too 100 push-ups,
100 pull-ups, 200 push-ups, 300 squats, and there's a mile run on either side of it. So
start with a mile run, end with a mile run, and you're supposed to wear rifle plates as well.
If you're doing it, as Lieutenant Murphy did, you do it with your kit on, whatever that may be. Generally, it's prescribed as a 20-pound vest. So but. So another solid one there, and then my dishonorable mention, which oddly enough also stars Taylor Kitsch.
So this just ruins the boner.
I just hate this fucking movie. I saw it when I was doing my research. I saw it come up on a list of top.
I kind of like this. I think
patriotic movies, and it is Battleship.
Oh,
it also stars Rihanna. So part of my hatred for it,
Qui-Gon Jinn.
Is Liam Neeson in it?
Yeah.
You're fucking right. He is, isn't he? So part of my hatred is that I've seen this movie 3 times.
Oh shit!
And I've seen this movie 3 times back to back to back.
Why? What? Were you trapped?
I was trapped.
Oh no!
I was holed up on a robbery suspect outside of their fucking apartment.
Oh no!
And all I could see was in through their blinds was the DVD of Battleship playing on their fucking TV, right? So I'm here. It's January. I am freezing my nuts off. I've got a fucking shotgun out. I'm there with a stack of people. The guy whose fucking robbery call it is sitting in his car with the heat on. I'm fucking sitting there waiting, calling these motherfuckers out, waiting and waiting and waiting. And this movie is just playing, and it gets over, and I'm like, God, that was awful. And I think it's just going to sit on the DVD menu, right? Nope. Just boop. Starts play again, starts it again. So I've watched 6 hours and 33 minutes of this shitty fucking movie. And it's fucking atrocious, man. It's based on a fucking board game.
Yeah.
Go fuck yourself.
It's in the realm of terrible military movies. It's definitely up there as far as being terrible.
I've never seen it. I have no interest whatsoever.
I enjoyed it. I mean, I think it came out during COVID. I think
came out.
No, it was before that. I want to say 27.
Oh yeah, it would have been 20. Might have been 2016.
Oh no, I'm thinking midway.
Yeah. 2012. Fuck. 2012 Battleship came out.
Okay, yeah.
Well, I mean,
And I wouldn't have seen.
DVD
Yeah, I wouldn't have seen
away.
it until probably 4 or 5 years later. There,
yeah.
but
But yeah, no,
it's bad.
Battleship, was bad because doesn't at the end isn't like aliens
It-
come
it-
in?
oh, it's-
fucking spoiler, man.
dude, it's aliens from the get go.
If it's if you're
and
mad
it's-
about spoilers,
It's
now,
literally
I'm
like
not.
part of it is because it's based on the board game. They have like
giant hands. that
no,
come
there's not
down?
hands, but like the alien technology like drops out of the sky essentially and like lands on the battleships and sinks
It's
the
like
battleship.
big, white
Oh,
and red
yeah.
pegs
Yeah,
that just fall
like-
from the sky.
Yeah, it's like over designed that. But
God, that's
so it's
terrible.
fucking terrible. And
But Rihanna's in
Rihanna
it,
is
so-
gorgeous as she is and great singer is
Couldn't
not
save it.
should not act.
That's hilarious.
So that's my dishonorable mention. Which we should definitely
God, I
include that in
can't
the
wait
future.
to add this in the future. Yeah.
And then my number one is you mentioned it in your honorable mentions is The Patriot from
Yeah.
2000
Yeah.
Mel Gibson joint. Man,
Yeah.
that's the only one I rewatched
the Swamp
for
Fox,
this.
is that his nickname?
He's the ghost.
Go. Yeah, but I think the character is actually
Oh, I see what
based
you're-
on.
yeah.
I think it's the Swamp Fox is what they call him.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyway, sorry.
But talk about a fucking
yeah.
solid,
right?
amazing. Like
Yeah.
we're talking the
Lots of
beginnings,
murder.
the beginnings of America, the Revolutionary War, and
When Mel
and-
Gibson was still like allowed to be on screen in America.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, it's just a heartbreaking movie too. And
yeah,
this
when
is
when his
this
family
is the
gets
first time I've
trapped-
seen it
oh.
with kids.
Oh shit.
Now that
Yeah.
I
It's a little
got that,
different,
and it's
doesn't
a
it?
totally different feeling there. Especially like when he goes and gets his revenge. Initially after they kill his son, and spoilers for this 23-year-old movie. Fuck yourself.
Oh my god. 2000.
Yep.
Shit.
And then he's because he enlists his two youngest boys to help him when he takes out the squad of 20 British soldiers, and he's tucking them into bed later that night, and his one kid is just horrified of him, can't even look at him, and it
Because he's an absolute fucking savage.
yes, because the majority of people he kills, he does in hand-to-hand
Yes,
combat
just
with his fucking
rage.
his Cherokee axe
Oh,
or hatchet
God,
or tomahawk,
so
whatever you
great.
want to call it, and just hand-to-hand combat, ripping them to fucking shreds. And it's for a movie in 2000, like surprisingly good fight choreography, especially for like kind of a historical based movie and shit like that. Like I know it's not based on a true story necessarily, but true events and some historical stuff woven in there. It's very solid, and it's definitely well worth a watch.
Our good friend Uncle P was
yeah.
very adamant that be number one, and now that you've given your piece, I feel like I let him down. But
well, I did him
still,
proud, so.
Miracle.
Yeah. I love the scene in that where the cannonball jumps up out of the screen.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I remember watching it in theaters with my parents. That was one of the first movies that we went to as a family that we had an opportunity to because other things. But first opportunity that we had to go to as a family, and I just remember like that cannonball like hit the ground and then popped up. It was like, oh,
takes that dude's leg
heads
off.
Yeah,
I think it takes
leg
takes him off
yeah.
at like the knee, and it's just fucking brutal.
But
Yeah.
so good.
Excellent. Oh my god. Yeah. I'm a little surprised nobody said like Saving Private Ryan.
Yeah, that's
I
true.
really thought that would be in there. I think Band of Brothers is a better. I know that was your honorable mention, but I think that's even better than.
Yeah, I really
Saving
tried.
Private
I
Ryan.
was really trying to stay away from war movies because it's too easy
I
to.
wasn't, but at the
'cause I
same
was like,
time, I wanted to be. I wanted to be as encompassing as Uncle Sam's boner possibly could be.
Right,
You know?
yeah. I mean, Uncle Sam loves
He's
war.
not a
So
warmonger, people.
I don't
He
even
likes
know what
hockey
to-
too.
That's our top three with some honorable mentions of Uncle Sam's boner jams. Basically, the movies that just get you rock hard for America. Tell us what you thought. Were we right? Were we wrong? Or send us your opinion. What is your favorite?
Yeah, let us know. Reach out. You can email us, geekbattalionvets@gmail.com. If you got questions, like he said, comments on this episode or any other for that matter, let us know. We love to hear it. We love talking to you guys and interacting. So, or you can leave a comment on our social media at Geek BN Vets. That's at Geek Bravo November Vets on Instagram and Twitter. We're also on Facebook. Just search Geek Battalion Vets. I think Jimmy set up a TikTok for us. We're getting episodes posted to YouTube now, so you can leave a comment on there for all I care. We'll
subscribe, follow, share, do everything.
Maybe you'll even get a little taste of the Silkies on the YouTubes. Who knows?
Yeah, who knows? Maybe. Probably not, but maybe.
So let's, should we do don't you have a special jingle that you want to share with the group?
Oh, yeah.
For the next segment of the show?
Yeah, here we go. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
No kill. No kill. No kill. No kill.
Oh, yeah.
There it is.
Yeah.
I recorded that at like regular speed, but then the software, when I play it plays it back faster.
Somebody
and
jumped out and stepped on your nuts.
Yeah, it's just perfect. Love it. I wish you guys could see us in the studio as I play that, because we just dance back and forth. It's great.
It's a good little jingle. I like it. I'm glad we came up with it with the last episode.
We have this amazing producer, Jimmy, over here that just rattles
Jimmy,
off the
that's
hits.
some serious gourmet shit.
I loved it, and I was laughing so hard at it too. It's like
it was too perfect.
Yeah, it was great. But anyway,
this is a segment. We're doing a thing.
So this is our mail segment.
Stop blowing each other here. Yeah, here we go.
Hands above the table, boys.
Yeah, let's go. Yeah.
All right.
Mail call. This is where we answer your questions. You send it in. We answer it. We give our take on it. We tell you to pound sand, or we agree with you, or we just make some shit up.
Yep.
Yeah.
Or we just read your hate mail and laugh about it. So, whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever floats your boat.
What do you got, Jimmy? You reach in your bag and pull something out for us.
Yeah, so I got one from our pseudo co-host here.
Wannabe? Is that fair? I mean, we all want him to be, but
he's got a permanent spot here. Whenever he comes in, he can come in anytime he wants. From a buddy Tony, he says, who do you think is the most overrated comic book character and why? I'll start Superman. That's not me starting. That's Tony starting.
That's part of the question there.
Overrated.
Most overrated comic book character.
He doesn't really go into the why on Superman. He just says, I'll start with Superman.
Are we going with like just pop culture in general? Is that
he says
comic book character.
Comic book character and
so
why?
Superman's an interesting choice. I tend to agree. I mean, you could argue that he's probably the most popular superhero comic book character of all time. And that in and of itself kind of makes him overrated.
Yeah.
But I think my choice, which this may shock people or it might not, I think it's Batman.
I'm fucking floored.
I love Batman. My favorite character in all of fiction. And I think an excellent, well-written character when done by the right people and done well. But also the same character that can do things in comic books that, like, I referred to him in one episode as having a lot of plot armor.
That's true.
He's just, and that's not necessarily unique to him, but he's just, he's the guy who can do anything. He can fight Superman. He can fall from the moon and not have a scratch on him. Because he's so smart and he can make it happen and whatever
he figures
else.
Out some way to get around something.
Right, exactly.
I'm still like I don't even know.
Don't get me wrong. Like I'm just being honest about the nature of these characters and how it works. Like I love him for all of those things, and I think it's great. When it's done well, like I said, but that's probably my pick. But Fuck Superman though, because he's gonna hate me for it.
Well, the thing about Superman, I I tend to agree with Tony here. He's always as strong as he needs to be. Whatever he needs to do in order to beat the bad dude, he's that strong. So that kind of leads into the argument of Goku versus Superman. Who would win? And my argument is always, Superman would just get as strong as he needs to get in order to beat Goku. And they're like, well, Goku could do this and Goku could do that. Yes, I agree that Goku could do this.
Are you talking about the Mandalorian's kid?
Grogu?
Oh, what are you saying?
We're talking about Dragon Ball Z.
Fuck.
Goku.
I have no fight in this game right here.
Oh, God.
No dog in this fight?
Yeah, one of those.
Yeah.
Well, I'm a lot of corn sweats in here.
Yeah,
Okay?
that dog just ain't going to hunt.
I tend to agree. Like, I think it's a fairly recent Superman comic where he takes up the weight of the cosmos for Atlas. So he goes to where Atlas is holding up, the cosmos, and Atlas wants to see his daughter get married. So Superman agrees to help him out and hold up essentially like the universe, like all of the cosmos somehow, and he just does it and just holds it forever, and he's like, oh, this is heavy, and then he just comes back. And so I agree that he's kind of a character that can do anything, and then he also has kind of a really like simplistic weakness, right? Like a little green rock,
a little green rock,
and you can and lesser known magic, but like I don't know though, I don't know necessarily if those things make either Superman or Batman overrated, in the sense that maybe Tony means, but I don't know. B, you got something?
I mean, I can't help but agree with the Superman aspect. And don't get me wrong, I love the character. It's just very few weaknesses, like seemingly unlimited power.
Sure.
I think I'm just gonna say the Flash because I'm really angry still from the cock punch that I recently.
I don't think anybody's
received.
gonna be overrating that character for a while, though.
No. I just can go away for a while until someone figures out how to make him interesting. Because oh my god! But that's a problem. I don't even know who to blame. Is it Ezra Miller's fault? Maybe a little, but
not 100%. I think there's a lot of blame to spread around, but yeah, I mean, I think that movie was probably kind of destined to fail.
Oh God, the thing that angers me the most, and I'm going off on a tangent here, but the thing that angers me the most about that movie is how many fucking people told us this is the greatest movie they've ever seen.
Oh, too many.
And I want to. Oh. You fucking liars.
I can never trust Jaden Smith ever again.
How will you go on?
I know.
But that was definitely a guy that I trusted.
I'm so hurt.
Spoiler alert here. So, I'm trying to save you money, so don't take this the wrong way. But George Clooney is famous for saying that if you saw Batman Forever in the theater, he'll pay you like $14 if you ever tell him that
he'll refund your money, allegedly.
He owes me fucking $31 for this one too, I think.
Oh, wow.
So
spoilers?
Is it? I said spoilers.
Did you? Okay.
I did.
Yeah,
I said
did.
I'm trying to save you money because
okay. All right. I just must have missed
don't
it.
go to that movie. It's so bad.
Yeah.
I still haven't seen it.
Don't.
And I'm waiting until it hits HBO Max. So that's where it's going to go. It's going to go
So
HBO.
you've seen it. So
Yeah.
it's not a finished movie. It's not. No, it's not. How? Because there's so many glaringly obvious, terrible things that should have never hit our eyes in the theaters.
So
no, you're thinking of Rise of Skywalker.
I mean, yeah, but
in a different way.
No. Visually, Rise of Skywalker is light years beyond The Flash.
Yeah, I don't know necessarily that it's unfinished. Like I said, I think they made the conscious decision to go with the style of computer graphics that they did because they knew with all of the cameos and faces that they would have to do, if they went to the level of detail that would be required for realistic, actual person looking CGI, that it would cost a fuck ton of money and it would take a fuck ton of time. And this movie has already been delayed multiple times. Ezra Miller was cast like 10 years ago, maybe 2014-ish.
Yeah.
He was cast as the Flash. This movie's been in development hell. It's gone through tons of shit. Ezra Miller, they were probably concerned that he was going to fucking, violate some other statutes in Hawaii at some point.
For sure. Start another cult.
Yeah. So
You just couldn't stop yourself, could you?
Hey,
you
that's
encouraged
the
him.
worst.
You
I know, I'm
encouraged
the
him from
worst.
fucking day one.
Such a fucking hypocrite.
From day one.
But what I mean is like the close-ups of the dual scenes of two Ezra Millers. You're gonna do a close-up on the character that you're gonna face swap, and it's gonna look like dog shit, like somebody did it on their phone before. I don't know if I said this, but when I saw the movie, I was the only one in the theater. There was me and two of my sons. We were the only ones in the theater. We had the whole place to ourselves. It was fucking terrible.
Ours was packed, but it was the day after release. So
I tend to believe there's very few reasons to riot, but I kind of feel like,
wow,
holy shit.
Wow.
I mean,
I'm gonna
I don't
trigger
even-
my PTSD here.
I'm sorry. Oh shit! I don't even know how we got here. What were we talking about? We were
Overrated
talking about
superheroes.
Overrated
Yeah,
superheroes.
So the Flash.
The Flash.
Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah. Good answer.
question.
Good
Good
answers.
question.
Yeah. Thanks, Tony.
Thanks, Tony.
Appreciate that.
Anybody else got one?
Yeah, I've got one.
Okay. Shoot.
From we'll call him friend of the show, longtime listener, first time caller,
that's
Scooter.
weird. Scooter.
Oh,
My man Scooter.
Scoots.
He
Sounds
gave
hot.
us a quite the dilemma here. It is a game of fuck, marry, kill.
Oh.
Oh man,
Oh.
this
And
has
our-
gotten me in so much trouble before. Or did it? I don't know.
I can't comment.
Disclaimer. I'm sorry, my love. I have to answer this.
It's for the podcast we
it's
were
for the
at.
podcast.
Gotta play this game.
So his three ladies are all comic book characters. We have Mystique, Scarlet Witch, and Harley Quinn.
Oh.
Fuck.
So if I know
think this is
Scooter,
easy. I think
if
this
I
is
know
easy.
Scooter, he's probably thinking Rebecca Romaine Stamos and or J Law, Mystique.
Oh yeah.
Elizabeth Olsen, Scarlet Witch, and Margot Robbie, Harley Quinn. In fact, I know he's thinking Margot Robbie.
Okay,
Harley Quinn.
it's easy for me. It's fuck Harley Quinn, kill Scarlet Witch, and marry Mystique.
That's exactly what I was going
It's
to say.
universal. I think
Yep.
you have to. There's no other choice.
So, and let's dig into it a little bit. Harley is way too crazy to do anything else with. Although,
Probably
if
awesome.
you
Yeah.
fuck her and don't kill her, she's probably going to kill you. So who
Yeah.
knows? But
She would be a crazy fuck too. That's why.
yes, Scarlet
Yeah.
Witch is way too powerful.
Yeah.
I can't be married to that because
No,
she could just
she's gonna
literally
go
wipe
Fatal
me from
Attraction
existence.
and,
Yeah, you figure that
Like
you
that.
take the
Weird.
trash out, you're done.
Yeah, like my entire
she would
species
say
is
something
gone.
like right when you first start dating, like I met our kids in another dimension. I'm like, I gotta fucking go.
You did what now?
I'm from the reality where we're already together. Oh fuck!
Like,
But Mystique, think about the long-term benefits
No.
of being able to
Yeah.
spice up your relationship. Holy
Right.
moly,
That
she could
would-
turn into anybody.
Yeah.
And like the
Fantastic.
character Mystique anyway is just like cool, down to earth. Like
Yeah.
you could see yourself like once like all the mutant wars are done with, like maybe like settling down. You're like,
and if she's having a bad day, you just pull out the Magneto meme and be like, perfection.
Yeah, there you go.
Like, yeah, that's no, I definitely like you better this way.
Yep.
Yeah.
yeah.
There's nothing wrong with her in her blue form, that's for sure.
No. No.
I mean,
Like I said,
yeah,
I like redheads.
More
So.
proud faps. Just say it. Yeah.
You got a lot of proud faps.
No, not a whole lot of proud
There's
ones.
a lot of awkwardness.
Proud faps. Yeah.
Don't most people
guess
have more unproud
I've
ones?
just never categorized mine, so
Yeah,
it just happened.
It's usually like, man, I can't believe I just fapped to that.
Oh, well, I mean, that's a natural post-fap reaction right there. Just like,
Post-nut
Jesus,
clarity.
something's wrong with me.
Why am I the way that I am?
Man, I'm hungry. Anyway,
I wish I had a sandwich.
God, my hand smells like shit.
so that was a good one. I think we're
Yeah, it's universal.
there's a universal
really,
answer.
If you have an argument as to how you could change that up and
I'd
live
like
with
to hear
yourself,
it.
I'd love to hear it.
I'd like to hear it. You're a
No,
crazy
it's the
motherfucker.
Only acceptable answer
yeah. Yep.
that I can think of.
Appreciate it.
I think I have one more. Do you have anything, Jimmy?
Okay.
Okay. I'll let Duncan say his name because I can't ever get it right here.
Is this our-
Xenophon, the
Yes.
discipline.
Yeah, that's him.
Oh.
You guys know him? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Frequent
Friend of the show.
Yeah. Frequent.
The discipline, the Xenophon one. He says, what franchise has been sucked dry by Hollywood that needs to be on the big screen?
That doesn't need to be on the big screen.
I'm assuming that's what it says, but I'm just reading what's in front of me. Probably. Yeah, what if they just beat to death?
Nostalgia.
That's not a franchise.
D-
The question was what franchise?
Okay.
Okay, Mr. Okay, so the question is what franchise that has been sucked dry by Hollywood?
Yes.
Is it so I wonder if he means though that it's been sucked dry and it needs to be done well now and it needs to be on the screen, or it shouldn't be? I guess I'm confused.
I guess the way I interpret it is enough already. Like, just stop.
Okay.
I guess that I could be wrong. I'm sure we'll be corrected later if we got it wrong. But that's my guess.
God, that's tough. I see what you're saying, Jimmy, with nostalgia in general. Because if it's done wrong, it's fucking annoying.
I mean,
And we're getting a lot of like legacy sequel stuff
Yeah.
now with like Top Gun 2 and Indy 5 and that sort of stuff where it's just like, hey, people really liked this like 20 years ago. Let's fucking make it happen again.
Okay, I'll start. I'll throw out there. You're Fast and the Furious.
Yeah,
Like,
okay,
fucking
that's good.
Okay,
go
yeah,
away
yeah,
already.
That's a
great
good call.
one.
Burn it.
Yeah.
Burn it.
Yeah.
Anything with Vin Diesel moving forward, just stop it because the Guardians are done. So
Yep, burn it.
I can get somebody else to say I'm Groot if I absolutely need to. So
I mean, I don't want to say this, but it's getting to the point where it's just I'm getting tired of seeing about it. Mission Impossible.
I don't think you're wrong.
Yeah, I mean the movies are done well, so it's tough to say that about them. But it's also like when I saw that the new movie was coming out, I was like, oh, okay, cool, Dead Reckoning, and then of course the tagline Part 1
of
like,
17. Yeah,
like
exactly.
really? Come on, you're really you gotta milk this? Come on, guy. Like it's just like
From
we're
one
done here.
perspective, it is definitely hard to see just like another sequel of anything coming out, and it's like, is there
Yeah.
really no original
The answer is
thought?
yes.
And there's not.
Yeah,
but-
that and Jurassic Park. Jurassic Park
Yeah.
died a long time.
I
I
agree.
still haven't seen the last one.
I'm not a
yet,
big fan of
so-
the Chris Pratt Jurassic World ones.
Yeah, the World Dominion.
I didn't mind the first one, but the
it
second
was
one was
terrible.
not good. I don't know. I mean, I like Chris Pratt, so like, and he's going to be in everything moving forward. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess Fast and the Furious is the only thing that really. I also would like Disney to take a break from making everything live action, like all their classic movies. Just
Yeah, that's
stop
true.
for
That's
a
true.
minute.
You know what I'll say is the Terminator. I love T1 and T2,
Yeah.
but name another really good one.
See, I thought.
Yeah, and you
that-
couldn't name it.
I can name it.
We
Probably
talked about
Dark
this.
Fate.
Which one's that? Is that the
entertained
most
me,
recent
the
one?
most recent one.
Okay.
Dark Fate. I liked
That's the one where John
Salvation.
Connor like becomes like self-aware and he's like, "Oh no, I'm the bad guy."
No,
That's Genesis.
That's Genesis.
Oh, okay.
That's the one right before the last one before the.
Salvation. I like Salvation. That was a good one with
yeah, I don't know.
the dude
Yeah,
from
I
Avatar.
agree.
What's his
T1,
name?
T2,
Yeah.
great. Everything else after it, meh.
I think it's definitely diminishing returns.
But it's so far removed right now. Like, is that even?
I don't know. I mean,
Hollywood's not even like
James Cameron was talking about how he's waiting to write the next Terminator movie until.
Yeah, but he had nothing to do with. Like,
he's still a producer on all of those. So
is he?
I believe so.
Well, then fuck
yeah.
that
So
guy.
I don't know. That's good. That's good. That's a tough one, but also you could argue Marvel. You could argue DC.
Oh god. I don't want to say comic book movies, but we need a fucking shot in the arm. Hopefully, Secret Invasion is it.
I don't know, because like I said,
I mean, do
not
you
a lot of
really
people
need
are
another
listening.
Spider-Man? I mean, this is
so
the fifth Spider-Man.
We say this, but we just watched two of the best comic book movies that we've seen since Endgame in the last month. So.
I agree. I don't think there's such plenty of people have said this. This is not just me thinking this, but I don't think there's necessarily superhero fatigue or comic book movie fatigue. It's just poorly done movie fatigue.
Yeah,
you know?
step up your game.
Yeah, just you can't just fucking keep releasing Black Adams and Morbiuses and Kraven the Hunter and whatever else that Sony has going besides Spider-Verse.
Yeah, pretty much anything. If The Rock says I got a great idea for a movie and I want total control,
probably stay away from it.
That's a bad idea.
Probably stay away from it.
Unless it's Scorpion King, and then you can make that as shitty as you want.
My favorite Rock movie, The Rundown. With Sean William Scott.
I also feel like he had
of thunder, little bit of lightning.
He had almost zero control of anything.
No, he was.
that
was still. I'm just an actor. Like I just do my thing. He also wasn't as gigantic as he is. He's still a big, imposing dude. But
it was also there's a great scene at the very beginning of that movie where he passes Arnold in this club, and it feels like that's the passing of the torch of the next.
And then he beats up a bunch of really big football players,
and it's fucking
NFL players, and it's fantastic.
But
and Sean William Scott's hilarious in it. The jungle fight scene.
Guy? Like
Sean William Scott.
Yeah, he made some good hockey movies.
Yeah, Goon's pretty good.
Goon,
but
then,
I don't know.
He was in Dukes of Hazzard.
Jesus, that was so terrible.
He was in. Is it I Love You Man that he's in?
I don't know. Role models.
Role models.
Jessica Simpson.
Yes.
Daisy Duke.
Good. Nice.
She was all right. Yeah,
Daisy Dukes. Yeah, I'm sorry, love.
That movie's fucking terrible though. Willie Nelson was Uncle Jesse.
Yeah. Comes out of that
just like
that
Cheech and
shed
Chong,
with just smoke. Yeah.
But we got off topic.
Anyway,
Well, I think is that
any
all
other questions here? Did we? I think we had.
I think we
had one
from JC.
So our friend Jesus Christ, it's Jason Bourne, wrote in, "What's a villain you thought was right or thought they should have won at the end?"
Got it.
Go ahead.
Ultron.
Okay, fair enough. Every day, more and more I deal with people, I think Thanos was right. So,
yeah, but as I've said before, Thanos also killed half of all dogs, and they didn't do anything wrong.
That's fair. That's fair. But I mean,
half of all life.
Ultron would have killed.
He killed all dogs. Fuck.
He would have.
Why do you gotta find flaws in everything I say?
All human and animal life on Earth. So.
Okay.
Well, I mean, Ultron wasn't going to let half of humans live.
I'll say he did provide his own example, and he said Gerard Butler's character from Law Abiding Citizen.
I've never
and
seen
not that he was necessarily right, but it's just better. It would be a better movie if he wins at the end.
Oh, okay.
That's a good movie. If you haven't seen it, you should definitely check it out. Pretty brutal, but
yeah, I'll
trying to think.
Jamie Foxx is in that too, isn't he?
Yeah, it's Jamie Foxx and Gerard Butler.
I don't know. I'm guessing Rise of Skywalker would have been better if Kylo Ren won. Just because he fucking like if he killed everybody right at the beginning of the movie. Like,
it's just 15 minutes long.
I killed Snoke, I'll kill you too.
Yeah.
And then he just kills him and he's like, yeah, the end, I guess. Like created by George Lucas.
This is going to go to a select few people, but maybe Khan from Star Trek.
Okay.
He was, he was marooned, and he had reasons to be a villain, and I think he was kind of justified to be a villain at the end of it. And it's not always that the good guy needs to win. Maybe sometimes the bad guy needs to win. I
don't like that mentality, but I mean, I understand where you're coming from. I just don't like it.
Yeah.
Man, Ultron killed all the dogs. God damn you.
I just saw, so I Googled it to just get some idea. Somebody mentioned The Rock. You know,
Oh, yeah, General Hummel.
yeah,
Yeah.
Colonel.
He was going to blow up San Francisco.
But he wasn't. He didn't really actually want to hurt anybody. He just wanted all the, like,
Yeah,
he
he
wanted
wanted-
veterans to get benefits.
He did.
Like,
Fallen brothers to
Yeah.
be their families paid.
yeah,
Like,
he wanted proper
you know,
compensation.
I suppose I could kind of get behind that, you know.
What does he say? The tree of freedom has to be replenished with the blood of patriots. you
Yeah,
know?
something like
that.
Like he fires a warning
Tree of
shot
liberty.
with his,
I'm sorry.
with
Yeah.
his first missile, and
Yeah,
like,
and then he's warming up.
I mean, all of his dudes are
Bad dudes.
pieces of shit, but
Yeah.
he's got his head in the right place, I
Yeah.
think, in terms of what he wants.
Substandard Marines. I'm saying, no, like the one guy's like, we're going rogue. I'm getting a beret. Like, fuck you. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's a
And
good
then
question.
Another guy gets like a top knot or man bun, whatever it's called.
Yeah.
Like,
Isn't Kyle Reese in that movie?
which one? Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He's a Navy SEAL.
Yeah.
Michael Bain.
Yes, thank you. I can never remember that dude's name.
You gave the same oath as us. Protect from all enemies, foreign and domestic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then they get lit up. One of our favorite contributors, he says, what expectation does the Geek Battalion have for Ahsoka? And do any of you have predictions on what the storyline might be or in what direction they will go? His next question is reference the Superman casting. I think we kind of already talked about that, but
Yep.
Ahsoka, I'm fucking stoked.
Yeah,
I can't wait.
Got great expectations with her role that she had in Rebels, which was, albeit which was minimal. She was
Yeah.
there for most of season 2.
She's more of a supportive. role.
more of a support role. I don't want to ruin it for somebody who hasn't seen Rebels yet.
I think he's talking about
That's
you.
me.
Yeah.
Yep, definitely talking about you.
I'm getting there.
But it's the role that she had and the way that season 2 ended was just fantastic, and I have a lot of questions that need to be answered about what she's been up to and where she's going, and I think this is going to kind of answer that, and it'll kind of give some closure on season 4 of Rebels.
I'll be honest with you. Like, I'm more excited about the new characters that we're gonna get. Like the Ray Stevenson character,
Yeah.
the Balin Skull, and fuck, I forgot the other his Padawan's name or whatever.
Yeah, I
she
can't
is.
remember it either off the top of my head. But
And I'm super excited to see live action Thrawn.
yeah.
Do you think we'll see a live action Zeb as well?
100%. We already got it.
Yeah, I mean that I just had that thought. Like maybe Mandalorian was like just a test run of like
it definitely
of like
was.
seeing
Yeah,
like
he'll-
working out the kinks of
Yep,
Zeb.
I think
Yeah.
so. Like just the visuals and no, I want to see a Callus. I want to see
Yeah.
I want to see yeah, I'm excited for Sabine. I'm excited for Hera, but
Yeah, not so much like
Ezra.
Sabine,
Ezra has a lot of personality in Rebels.
yeah.
And so does Sabine, and so does Hera. But like, Hera's been in other media. Like she was in that Squadrons video game. And at least she gets a mention in Rogue One because they asked for General Syndulla in the background on Yavin 4. So I'm excited to see what they do with Sabine. I'm excited to see who's hunting them. Like, are there Inquisitors? Is it a rogue Jedi like from the Thrawn series? Like, what's going on?
Didn't we already get a look at an Inquisitor, or is that just people speculating that person
that's what
is going
we
to be
talked
an Inquisitor?
about. Like, is that Star Killer that image? I'm assuming it's an Inquisitor of some type,
Right.
Definitely an agent of the Empire or
Yeah, it's got-
Thrawn.
It's got the Inquisitor look. Inquisitor lightsaber, Inquisitor armor, and branding. So, if it looks like a duck, it's probably a goose, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm also excited that I think we're going to get another big villain. At least one, because...
Like, do you have someone in mind, or you just mean generally based on how things work?
I don't really have one. I mean, I got a couple that I could maybe guess. Like, I think Barasofi's probably going to show up.
Be interesting.
I think Thrawn's role is probably going to be smaller than we were expecting. And I say that...
I think so, too.
I say that because of Filoni's movie that's years down the road yet, and it's called Heir to the Empire, so I feel like Thrawn's going to be the big protagonist, if not... antagonist, if not, some kind of setup to Snoke or...
Yeah. I think they will lead more into Thrawn in Ahsoka. They will hint more at him. We'll get a look at him. We'll probably get a taste of his brand of villainy.
Yeah.
But I don't think it'll necessarily be him being the main antagonist bad guy for this show.
Yeah, there's a Facebook group that we're a part of, Star Wars fans, and somebody mentioned today, hey, we need a series that does a deep dive into how Palpatine created Snoke. So I mean, maybe this could be a good kind of softball pitch.
That sounds fucking terrible.
I'm not ready for that yet.
And like most everybody was like, no, that's terrible. It's already been answered, But I think the way that you're talking, it could be like a small little way to get into that a little bit.
This is kind of segueing away from the question here, but I saw something today that Jason Momoa said in an interview that he would love to play Boba Fett.
What the fuck?
And I can't stop thinking about it. Like, I would love
Jason
to
Momoa
see,
as Boba.
I would love to see him as like the solo movie era, like him as a younger Boba Fett.
Okay.
I think that would be badass.
He's got such a different body type.
Jason Momoa.
He's wearing fucking armor. You can't see his body. It's fine.
I just don't like Jason Momoa. So.
Yeah, but you could see his traps a mile away.
You think he's gonna shave his face and his head?
Does it matter?
If he takes off the helmet,
Boba Fett the kid had hair.
Yeah, but
I don't know.
We don't know when he lost his hair.
Yeah, I guess maybe it was the Sarlacc pit, but
it could have been.
I don't know. I just very much dislike Jason Momoa and almost everything he's been a part of.
You're not excited about Lobo?
No, I don't give a fuck about Jason Momoa playing Lobo. Lobo is a
topic for another
DC comic book character that is Jason Momoa's favorite that he really wants to play.
He's already Aquaman, though.
Probably going to play.
He's probably going to be recast as this guy in the James Gunn's new universe, but he's just like an intergalactic bounty hunter type. But he will be played exactly like Aquaman and any other character
Aquaman
that
with like
Jason
super
Momoa
pale
has
skin.
played.
Yeah.
So don't really care about that, but also like.
As long as Boba Fett doesn't take a nap in a puddle on a sidewalk at some point in the Jason Momoa Boba Fett movie, I'm fine with it.
That's fine.
I'm good with it.
Also, I just like I know we all dig Boba Fett, but like if we're gonna see, we need to finally see maybe something that actually makes Boba Fett as badass as everybody thinks he is, because like we really haven't seen any of that in live action. The Boba Fett series, I don't think did him justice.
No.
Okay, here, I got one for you. Okay, so there is unfinished Clone Wars animation of a scene with Boba Fett and Cad Bane.
Yep. It's where he gets the dent in his helmet.
I so badly want to see that in live action.
Yeah.
That would be a fucking amazing... I think we talked about this like a couple years ago.
In the Clone Wars, Boba Fett is super young.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. This was an unfinished Clone Wars arc. So when Disney took over and they were still on Adult Swim, or Cartoon Network.
Yeah.
They had an entire season that was still in post-production, and they didn't get it all finished.
Oh, okay.
And they sold the ones they had finished to Netflix, and Netflix released them, but they still had several episodes that were almost done. Like the screenplay was done, the base animation was done. It was just finalizing it.
Interesting.
And they never released it, but you can watch the unfinished animation, and it's a scene where clearly Cad Bane, Boba Fett, Bosk, Aurora Singh. Actually, I don't know if Aurora Singh's in it or not.
So many names.
But a bunch of bounty hunters go off on this mission, and then Cad Bane turns on them, and then there's old West showdown of Boba Fett versus Cad Bane. And they showed it at Celebration several years ago, and it's on the internet. You can see it. It's so badass. And like Duncan and I talked about this before the Boba Fett show came out, but like I so badly wanted that flashback of Boba versus Cad Bane, and it would have been, with what we got, it would have been a perfect flashback,
right?
For when he shows up.
Boba Fett,
right? It would have given a lot of context to that relationship in that show.
Yeah, because when that happened, like I was like, okay, who is this guy?
Like,
who's Cad Bane?
I love the Mandalorian episodes that we got in the Boba Fett, but like, could you imagine if they replaced one of those episodes with an episode where it's
actual
it's
storytelling,
a whole flashback of Boba Fett learning from Cad Bane, and then Cad Bane turning on him, and then Cad Bane comes back and ends up taking out Cobb Vanth. And like, God, it would have been so great. Like, what? Like any of those episodes that they use the Mandalorian in, why didn't you put that at the beginning of Mandalorian season 3?
Yeah.
Or yeah, I could go on and on.
I think they just needed some filler. They're like, we got 6 out of the 8 episodes.
Yeah, I don't know.
Kind of
I think there was definitely some behind the scenes struggles with the Boba Fett show that they didn't know what to do, so they were just like, Mando season 2.5.
I kind of blame Robert Rodriguez a little bit
the theme song though.
I do too, because the fucking Power Rangers on the scooters doing their weird spin moves is fucking stupid.
Yeah,
that was dumb, and the pacing was bad, and like you just didn't get enough of him. Like Boba Fett wasn't in that show enough.
No.
I don't know if you saw the stuff about James Mangold talking about his Boba Fett that was basically an R-rated spaghetti western. I'm like,
where's that?
They probably actually canned it, not because it was bad, but because Favreau was already
working on
deep into that,
on that side of
the
stuff.
Mandalorian. So I bet there was some good stuff in there, but who knows? We got robbed of the Lord and Miller Solo movie too.
It's true,
and the Colin Trevorrow cap to the sequel trilogy that would have been so much better. But whatever.
Yeah, Disney's kind of a wreck with the things they announce and cancel, and
people get pretty heated when you're calling out Kathleen Kennedy. But fuck, man.
Yeah,
I don't know.
There may be something to it. She also denied a few years ago that there was ever a James Mangold Boba Fett movie that was ever anything being considered. So then now him coming out and being like, no, I was working on something like that.
But I think she also announced it after the Logan movie came out, because he made that one and he had all this high praise for it, and then she fucking denied it after that. So I don't know, man.
Who knows?
I don't know. I just hope Andor 2 is good. So
yeah, well, I guess to answer the question, frankly, yes, we have high expectations for Ahsoka.
Yes.
Yep,
I agree.
Real quick, I did just see that we were just kind of talking about Superman and the new casting and everything. It looks like Henry Cavill just got interviewed on some recent, probably a podcast or something. I can't tell. It's with the Disc Father, so I don't know what that show is. But and he said during the interview that he prefers Joss Whedon's Justice League to Zack Snyder's Justice League. So I cannot fucking wait for the internet to explode.
Oh.
I cannot fucking wait for
this is breaking news. Shit's about to go on fire.
Snyder fans to just start disowning Henry Cavill left, right, and fucking center.
We defended you.
Yeah, holy shit. He just unleashed a fucking shitstorm, I have a feeling. So that's interesting, but
I mean, he's got nothing left to lose. I mean, he was going to be Superman, and they like,
might be the next James Bond. Who knows?
Yeah,
It's
you're
an
gone.
excellent way to keep your name relevant. Be like, by the way, fuck this guy. Boom. Yeah.
All right. Well, let's wrap it up. Move to the safety brief.
Safety brief.
Yeah. Let's see. Well, I mean, I got to watch
A bunch of shit.
a bunch of stuff.
Extraction 2.
Extraction 2.
Yeah, I got to watch Extraction 2 and rewatch last End of Watch. That's what it was.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
Good
Yep.
night.
Did
Woo.
you watch From Dusk Till Dawn?
Oh, yeah, I got to watch Dust Till Dawn.
Or just Google the one scene.
that one scene.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'd love to tell a story about a mutual friend of ours. He's golden. Just be safe with your fireworks, okay? Like, I don't need anybody to blow their hands off.
Yeah, don't blow your
for
hands
sure.
off.
Oh,
Please.
Jesus. Yeah,
Happy
that took me
birthday,
longer than
America.
it should have.
If you're,
Don't spend it in the hospital.
yeah, and it's America's birthday, so don't go to Tijuana. Really, I mean, don't watch your neighbor's fireworks. So you don't have to buy any. Like, they're all from China. Come on, man. Like, I mean, I'm still gonna buy a couple Roman.
Well, somebody
candles.
has to buy some, or you can't watch your
That's
neighbors.
true.
So
That's true.
unless you're like homegrown, you're just doing your own in your garage, sort of.
Yeah, don't do
that either.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
I'll probably have to come handle
feel
it.
like
And I
there's
don't want to do
laws
that.
against that. But yeah, so enjoy the holiday,
The festivities.
and,
Be safe. Be smart. Yeah.
yeah. I hope you can all be as spangly as I am right now. So
You're blinding me.
yeah,
All right. Thanks for listening.
yeah.
Yep. Check out all of our socials: YouTube, Facebook, Twitter.
Buy our merch,
Yeah. Spread the word.
all those
Yeah.
things.
Geek Battalion Vets.
yeah, that's us.
.threadless.com.
And then keep your eyes out for the 4th of July drop
Oh hell yeah!
for the new merch.
It's America's ass, baby.
Yep.
All right. Well, hey, we have been the Geek Battalion. I'm Jimmy.
I'm B.
And I'm Duncan.
All right. Rock out, rock on.